Welcome to Table Goth. Tonight, we are serving Vampire the Masquerade, specifically our final course in our series of the Cult Chronicles, where we will be exploring various cults, from cults to the blood gods. I think it should be obvious to some people, but if not, we're going to find out what the cult is tonight for sure. This particular meal we are calling Empty Threats. Now, we as a group have discussed our boundaries. Safety tools are in place for the cast. But given the improvisational nature of the story, we cannot predict all content that will be explored. But you can expect themes of isolation, existential dread, violence, kidnapping, loss of agency, and the struggles of the poor and forgotten. We have gathered to tell a dreadful tale, so please take care of yourselves as you keep this in mind. Now, without further ado, let's go around. For the last time, tell us who you're playing for Empty Threat. Going the order you're on my screen, starting with our very special guest, Sarah.
Okay. So my name is Sarah, and I'm playing Anne-Marie Carpentier, the brouhaha of the game, who has only got one wrist left.
It happens. Mr. Rob Burglar himself.
Metal Chocobos. I'll be playing Luca the La Sombra. As far as I have right now, 2 wrists. So
2 wrists, some shadow tentacles.
Yeah.
And then we have Mandy.
I'm Mandy Morose, and tonight I am playing Candace Marshall, and she is a salubri. I have a couple wrists and I think a couple ankles left, so that's where we're starting that off.
And an extra eye.
Wow.
And I am Bully, and I am your storyteller. Now please have a seat, mind your manners. Our table is set. The ritual begins now. Last time, our coterie investigated the homes of the missing persons. They found inconsistent clues, but enough to find some evidence linking certain scenes. Things such as black chalk, an image of a human silhouette with a circle inside, a doorway drawn in chalk in a closet. Most of the homes had no signs of struggle. After gathering some information, they went to speak to some of the townsfolk, and there were very varied theories being developed by the townsfolk. Some believe it's linked to the newcomer, Joe Winters, who's been showing strange films at his bar. Naomi is suspicious of Marlene's brooding grandchild, who's been talking about leaving and getting others to leave. And they've left before with someone else, but then they returned alone. There's also some suspicion around Naomi herself, as she's had a sudden uptick of people chartering her to take her little fishing boat out into the mostly frozen ocean as of late, which seems odd. There has been Joe Winters, the guy who runs the bar, believes it might just be some sort of planned mass exodus of a lot of the townsfolk who've just had enough of this depressing place and have finally picked a night to leave altogether. Others are blaming Endron, the corrupt company that's operating the offshore oil rig outside the town, since they seem to be the only location that has not lost power. Speaking of Endron, a missing ship belonging to them was spotted far out into the bay. They got Naomi to bring them out, and they saw, written in chalk along the side of the ship, empty inside. Otherwise, the ship seemed abandoned. Also on the way out into the water, they saw some strange shapes moving in the water. Naomi decided to stay on her ship and ready in case they need to get the hell out of there, while the rest boarded. Once aboard, Candace listened with her heightened senses and heard a voice demanding to be let out, which also activated a paranoia compulsion in her. The group investigated the bridge of the ship, broke into a control room, and they found a black book. This book had strange nihilistic dogma written inside, and this was repeated throughout the book, some of it written in some form of Old Greek. There were also strange names written, many sounding quite antiquated. And then the names of all the townfolk were written inside. Some crossed out, others circled, and some just left blank. The coterie had circles by their names, as well as the people left in town. Scratched out names seemed to correlate with the missing people. Frank's name, the husband of our sheriff, was not scratched off, as I know we had a discussion with the sheriff about what happened to his person. CJ's name wasn't scratched off. Joanna's was scratched off. CJ's dad was blank. Some of the names they checked. So Luca took the book. Candace, from the bridge, noticed a shadowy, almost like an oil spill leaking from the ship in the water. They decided to explore below deck. In the engine room, they found it had been recently dismantled, but it seemed operable up until then. Luca's owl gave them a warning about some danger, and they spotted a figure stalking them. They pursued this figure into the main cargo hold area, where Anne-Marie noticed a shadow unaffected by her flashlight. So she shot at it. They heard a box crash. They investigated this. And they went to this large metal container full of stacks of wooden boxes. And these boxes had names of the townsfolk carved on them, matching the ones that were still left in town, though each was carved in a different handwriting. They identified their boxes to likely be carved or written by their touchstones. And then this nude, bald woman snuck up on them and closed the container behind her. Asked them to lie in the coffins if they wanted answers to their questions. They refused, so her shadows began to move towards them. So we sprung into action, with Anne-Marie immediately shooting the jaw off of this woman as Luca's shadows battled this woman's own. Anne-Marie tackled her and held her down as her beast began to surface and take control, but Candace was able to use her abilities to calm Anne-Marie's beast and remove her harmful compulsion. The woman then reached up, grabbed Anne-Marie's arms, and covering it with sort of this oily shadow that once it dripped away just rapidly withered the arm itself as it fell to the floor. And that is the exact moment where we are picking things up. So, Luca, your shadows have this woman completely contained. She is at your mercy right now. She's clearly weakened. Her shadows are losing out to yours. Anne-Marie, your arm was just somehow removed with this weird withering power. And Candace, you are on standby witnessing all of this. But as of right now, this woman seems at your mercy. How would you like to proceed?
I wrote a note so I would remember that I wanted to try to break one of the wooden boxes or whatever was nearby to try to make a stake.
That is easy enough. Is there a particular box you're wanting to break?
Whatever is closest.
You grab a box with one of the townsfolk's names written on it. You're not the strongest, but these boxes aren't in the best condition. And sort of the cold seems to have almost seeped into the wood, making it brittle. And it's easy enough for you to, with a little bit of effort, to kind of smash one of the lids on the ground using your foot, and you take off. You don't have like a nice, clean, handheld stake. It's almost like a chunk of wood.
Giant
it's like
splinter.
almost a two-handed thing. That's if you're not a vampire, you'd be wary to wield it because it's definitely going to give you splinters on your hands. But something that'll do the trick for sure.
All right. And Luca has her pinned?
Yes. And right now she's just looking over. Even though Anne-Marie, you're on top of her, even with one arm, you still kind of have her pinned, as well as Lucas Shadows have her pinned. But she's not looking at you anymore. She's looking towards Luca. But you can see she's just blinking rhythmically every second or so. Each time she blinks, every other blink, her eyes are black, and then normal, and then black, and then normal. And this is just continuing.
I can see that she's blinking like that.
Yes, as you have broken this off and you now approach, you notice this as well. All of you can.
Don't look at her eyes, and then I would go into stake her.
Yeah, she doesn't even look towards you as you walk up and you just press the stake against her and just lean on it to get your weight behind it, and you slide it into her heart. As that last blink, her eyes are black, and then they're stuck that way.
Do I know? Would I know anything about inky eyes, occult, or anything?
There's a lot of oblivion powers that sort of the eyes may take a similar form when using different oblivion disciplines.
Okay.
Oblivion sight being the most obvious, but could be a number of things. Definitely something with oblivion though.
Gotcha.
But yeah, she is now in torpor. Her body goes rigid and still. Her eyes still open though. Her jaw still sort of hanging off.
I'll just look to the group. What do we do next?
Have the chalk attached to her neck like the naked guy in the woods. Okay.
Yeah, she has just a little pouch that you assume has the similar sticks of black chalk in it.
Okay, so can we look at? If I look inside, do I see anything else?
No, just this chalk.
Anne-Marie, are you okay?
Need a hand?
So yeah, I have to heal a bit.
Willpower damage.
Yeah.
You now have no arm, too.
Yeah, that's why.
So this is I forgot what did we resolve your damage from that?
We said 3.
That's right.
Superficial. I thought it was light, but for an arm loss. But okay.
No, that should be aggravated. My apologies.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, we both did it. You're on it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I'm not okay. We have to figure this shit out and get the hell out of there.
We want to take her with us and get back to the boat. I feel like this is just gonna go real bad, real fast.
She's in a bad shape, but she can't. We can't heal, and she can't either. So
she could heal. Like, you know that she can probably, if you give her time, she can mend herself if you need her to speak. Candace can also heal people.
Yeah.
But she's dangerous. And she can attack without her arms.
She can use oblivion, just like me.
And even if we tie her up, we could, if we put her into very bright light, is it gonna
that would make it more difficult for her to produce shadows. Just your single flashlight didn't seem enough, as you noticed. You caught her shadows before and they weren't moving, but maybe everyone's flashlights on her, or if you find another light source, you might be able to make it to where it's difficult for her to use it. You can also see, you guys did a number to her. She's, even before the stake, she's quite subdued.
do we want to? I mean, this is one of the first rooms we went in. Do we need to investigate further, or do we want to take her for questioning and get back to the boat?
The thing is, if I don't even know if we could get anything out of her with questioning. They seem like very crazy people. So.
It's true. Good point.
She was even at the verge of dying. She was like blinking.
Yeah. Lasombras. All right. So
you could notice her hand is starting to just sort of twitch. And where it's sort of flat on the ground, she's starting to just kind of rotate it a little bit. And eventually she gets her palm up. She's just like, her hand's just twitching that way.
I'm going to stop that. I'm going to put my boot on it.
Yeah, you just rest your heavy boot on her hand, just feeling it crunch a little bit beneath.
I kind of just want to rip her eyes out. I feel like that would be safe.
You know enough that someone in torpor can exercise. Well, she's not probably gonna be able to do anything, but they can do. You can sometimes do like just slight movements to try to communicate, either with your eyes or like twitching a digit.
Okay, so then I'll release the pressure on the boot and see if she's trying to point to something or whatever.
She asked us to go into the boxes, but
she is pointing at the large chunk of wood in her. She blinks once, and her eyes are normal. And then she goes just rigid, still again.
Does she want to talk? I hope she does. It's not anything else.
Are my shadows still on her?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your shadows have engulfed her. You firmly have her with your shadows.
Okay, if we want to just unstake her a tiny bit, I still have her controlled. If we want to get, if we think we can get anything out of her,
I just could point my gun to her head and maybe. I think that she's been through quite a lot of damage, so it might be her final.
So do you need to heal up before we do anything risky like this?
I can't. Like, I'm in really bad shape. I need I need some good rest, and I can't do that here. I think.
Right. I'll remove the stake unless Candace wants to.
Oh, yeah. If everyone has like a flashlight out on her, I'll pull it out, I guess.
My hand is busy with pointing the gun at her.
Sure.
I got 2 free hands.
Yeah. You have 3 flashlights on her. She just, as the stake comes out, she just sort of flinches away from the light a little bit.
Ready to talk yet?
We are just trying to help. We are... Why can't you understand that?
Help what? Help who?
Everyone. Starting with those suffering in that terrible town of yours. We're taking them home. This place is pain. Home is embracing, encompassing, drowning, quiet, true bliss. Shin Lamed Mem.
Home, like death?
No.
Death.
No.
Then where's home?
Soon everywhere. Everything.
Darkness.
Shadows.
Yes.
As appealing as that is to my nihilism, I don't think I can let that happen for the people that do live here. They deserve a choice. And you're not giving it to them.
Oh, there's always a choice. You can choose to suffer, or you can choose to be free.
Dressing up young women like dolls, helping that in any ways.
You're giving
And
them
making her drink tea in front of other people watching.
That was not us. That was their doing. That's all they do, is hurt each other.
What they? Humans?
It's not their fault. It's you shouldn't be angry at them for it. Anger is a wasteful emotion. Their failure is nothing to be angry about. We have won, but there's nothing to celebrate.
From my angle, it doesn't look like you're winning right now. It looks like you're kind of losing.
Oh, no, the traveler is here. The priestess is preparing to open the door. He moves in the water. He appears from the water. Contemplation awaits us all.
Fuck the water. We got to get back to the water. She's on the boat waiting for us.
No, she's found water sturdy enough to carve his door. Now all we need is blood. Lots of blood. They've gathered. This was the first step. They've gathered, and the chosen probably now are giving a choice, an opportunity to break their shackles. Once free, we will all walk through that final threshold into that sweet embrace of oblivion, baptized in the lake, surrender to the flowering abyss. We leave through the door so Shalim may enter our world, and our world.
Do any of us recognize the name Shalim? Occult roll?
Yeah, if anyone has a cult, you may do an intelligence occult. Okay. With 4 successes for Candace, 3 for Luca. As a studied individual, Candace, you recognize the name, the origin of the name sounds maybe Hebrew, Mesopotamian, ancient Greek. The thing she said, roughly maybe it sounded very similar to like a shalom, like a Hebrew greeting. Almost like she was either greeting you in his name or greeting this figure themselves. Luca, you, formerly Sabat, longtime La Sombra, that name does ring a bell. There's a subsect, there's a cult of La Sombra who worship like oblivion itself. The Shalim is something a figure that they believe like is oblivion, and it's this nihilistic group that really wants to just essentially plunge the world into a void, into nothing. They've never been much of an issue. You've never really found much of a gathering of them either. They don't hold any domains that you're aware of. They don't really have many numbers. You've just found individuals here or there that are easily dismissed as being not only going against what the Sabbat want, the Sombra want, but these things happen sometimes. People are alive too long and they get caught up in some weird dogma. But yeah, it's a La Sombra specific sort of
Okay.
But yeah, what's troubling is this level of organization, this focus in one place. That because of the nature of them being so nihilistic, they tend not to gather or organize or really try to accomplish anything. So like their belief system is also sort of what stops them from accomplishing a lot. So they sort of take care of themselves. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll relay that to them. Okay. Yeah, this is a nihilistic cult, the Sombras. Pretty much want to plunge the world into darkness forever, which does sound appealing, but I think like I've grown attached to people here. So we can't let them do this. I've never seen them so organized before like this. That's the unsettling part. So we need to figure out who the chosen are. Would the book had people scratched off? I'm guessing that's not the chosen people. We put that together. Okay, so
I really wonder why, like, who are the people who kidnapped Joanna?
Let
If it wasn't them.
out, and I can explain everything.
I'm not crazy, right? You all heard that.
Yes.
We're not letting that thing out, right?
Mm-mm.
So then what do we do? She's the other Lasombra, is she awake? Did she hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Who is that? Is that your god?
Oh, actually, she doesn't seem to have heard it. She just looks confused at me. What do you mean?
The person asking will be let out. You didn't hear that?
No.
But
Why do they whisper to you and not me?
Trying to figure that out too.
Is there some ancient vampire on this boat? Do you have someone in another fucking box somewhere?
We have prepared a vessel for him.
Where is he? And why does he want to be let out? From where?
Let out?
Maybe from the water? Maybe in the depths.
No, he travels to the water. He is the water. That lurks beneath the sea. Why? I don't understand. Why are you?
Wants to be let
Are you trying
out.
to confuse me?
We are the ones who are confused right now. You've captured our closest friends.
No, they're free.
No, not
They
in
have
our
been
way.
released to break their shackles.
Where are they?
Seeking an end of their suffering, seeking to remove that last bit that holds them to this pain, this world.
Can I tighten the tentacles, the shadow tendrils, and be just enough with the wordplay? Tell us, are they on this boat or not? And if so, where are they? And I'll just squeeze the shadows.
The townsfolk are not here. The traveler is not here?
Why is that a question?
It's a question for him, I suppose. If he's whispering to you, I can't hear him anymore.
Is there any other
Why can't I
thing
hear him?
on this boat? Are there other kindred on this boat? You're the only thing on this.
This boat is empty inside.
Yeah, well, you were inside, so it's not. Or at least not in the sense that we think. God damn it.
You say that they are not here. Where are they? Don't tell me free or anything like this. I want to hear where.
If you want answers, simply ask me.
Where are you? Who are you? I'll just say out to the ether.
She is kind of looking around. This is the first time you've seen kind of a emotion starting to crack through this cold facade she has. She's looking up and around and sort of towards a specific direction of the hull.
What direction?
Just where there's other boxes stacked. What is he saying?
He's disappointed. That's a shame. All right. You want to stake her, and I'll go check out those boxes.
Give me a intimidation manipulation.
You're
Oh,
asking
I'm actually
her
kind
to,
of decent at.
are you asking her to open the box where he might be? No?
You're sort of evoking the one thing that she seems to actually give a damn about. That actually.
Do I have any
scares
modifiers for this roll?
her. No, but the difficulty will not be very high.
3.
Yeah, you could see as you say he's disappointed in her. She just locks eyes with you for a second. I've done everything that has been asked of me. I've returned this here. I've brought everything. I await. They should be. Something went wrong. It's not my fault. My part is complete. If they mess something up, that's on them. It's simple. It should be happening now. Is something wrong? They should be back in the town. Everything should be. They should be freeing themselves. Why is he disappointed?
I wish I knew. What's that? Okay. And I'll look to her and I'll just stake her again. Or I'll look to Candace to stake her.
Yeah, her eyes go wide and you see blood tears starting to pool in the rim of them. As Candace then.
I'm at 4 hunger. If there's blood leaking out, just so you know.
Ooh, give me a frenzy check.
What's mine?
Just 0 modifiers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Difficulty?
Yeah, do diff. Let's do diff 3 actually.
Okay. I've been debating whether or not I was gonna have to drink her anyway, so
Either way,
frenzy.
Candace leans in again, just pushing the stake deeper. The wound itself also just bubbling up some blood. Looking at her eyes also bleeding, reminiscent of when your third eye bleeds when you use your disciplines. Her jaw is still. I mean, she was able to speak. You could tell she's still able to mend a torpor. Her jaw slowly fixed itself a little bit, but there's still just a bloody mess from where she was shot, and all of this becomes too much as you guys see Candace lean in on the stake and then just drop herself onto the body and bite into this woman. Does anyone want to do anything?
I'll release the tendrils. I'll let her have it.
Okay.
Let her feed.
With that, being in a hunger frenzy, you begin feeding and drinking and drinking and drinking. Are you going to attempt to stop yourself, or are you going to Diabolarize her?
Based on what me personally as a human playing this game knows, I probably don't want to drink all of her, because I don't know if I could like withstand her like mentally. But as a baby kindred who doesn't really know anything about kindred, I don't know if I would try. I guess like I would try not to kill her would be like,
sure, give me a willpower
my
test.
thought. 2 success. Is what it is.
As an older vampire, would I know that's a risk?
It can be. You've certainly done it before, but
Yeah,
it can be an issue. But it's also hard to tell exactly
Yeah.
when this happens. Give me a strength plus resolve roll. Luckily,
Eater.
you do drain her, but you are not able to actually successfully complete a diablerie. It takes a certain strength and resolve to physically pull the more viscous, thick heart of the vampire blood from her, the part that contains the soul, according to some beliefs. Your hunger does go to 0. Her body does begin to quickly wither and decay and become a very fragile skeleton in your arms. You would be able to tell, you especially, with your clan, if there was some sort of transference of some other energy or soul. But you feel that the elation, but then it fades. It still feels very, very good to drink, especially from another kindred. But you did not get that spark, that extra something from her. But she is dead.
How you doing, Candace?
I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. I was really hungry. But I didn't.
You don't have to apologize. It's what we do. If it was an issue, I would have let the shadows do something. I didn't think we were going to get much from her anyways. But we got enough in that last bit. We got to go back to town. Something's happening back there. And this is their way out. So we need to get back.
Yeah, as you're speaking, why is my thing not working? You can see with your flashlights creating your own shadows. You can see almost your shadows being pulled in a direction. All of them almost like water just flowing off into the actual darkness, all in the same direction. And Candace, you're also the first to hear a helicopter.
Is the shadows pointing us to the hole where she was looking at?
You can.
Box.
It's not very far to where you can see there's a box, no name on it. The top just has a silhouette of a person with a hole in the middle. And it seems to almost be like a sponge pulling in shadows. But also at this point now, Candace is not the only one who hears the helicopter above.
Okay. Who the fuck could that be? Do we know anyone who has a helicopter in town?
No, but I think we should probably see whatever is in that box, take care of it, and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. I'm not. You want me to open the box?
I'll grab the steak out of her decaying
Yeah, I mean,
body.
it's not even really in her
Yeah.
anymore, yeah.
And run over to that box.
I'll be right behind.
Flashlights at the ready. And throw open the box.
You're throwing it open?
Yeah.
Okay. I will need, actually, from everyone, a willpower test. Candace with 5,
Failed.
Anne-Marie with 0. Luca with 1. Candace, you're the one who opens it. You're peering. It's an empty box. Just you open it up. It's just dark in there. And yeah, it's literally just looks like an empty box. You're not quite sure what's going on here. Anne-Marie. You also just are compelled to step forward and look inside. And you get dizzy almost, like you're going to fall. It's like looking over the edge of a cliff. You get a sense of vertigo because you are just staring at this impossible vastness of absolutely nothing that just your mind is reeling, trying to make sense of. And you just hear different things repeated in your head.
It's over and over.
And over in your head. You rolled 0. You're gonna take 3 aggravated willpower damage. And Candace, as you're watching, you have your wherewithal, so if you want to do something, you can. But you see Luca also similar. You step in, get that sense of, instead of feeling like you're looking over a cliff, it's like you're looking into just an ocean. And there's nothing that seems more... you desire nothing else but to be part of this, to melt in this. And you see Luca fully reaches into the box. And where you see, it looks like it's an empty box, but shining your flashlight, the bottom's black, but not because it's empty, because there's nothing there. It's like a portal into nothing. You see Luca's hand and arm go through the bottom of the box as he starts to crawl inside. Anne-Marie is reeling. She just sort of drops. She has to hold on to the side of the box to keep herself from falling in. What would you like to do, Candace?
Can I realize that there doesn't seem to be a bottom of the box, but can I try to stab the stake roughly, like, because it's like a coffin type of thing, right? So it's about a human. So can
it's
I...
not necessarily the coffin shape. It's just like a rectangle
like
box. Yeah.
Can I roughly like stab the stake into the chest area where a person would be?
Absolutely, yeah. You plunge down, and the stake again just passes through into nothing, and then it's just pulled out of your grasp, and just completely disappears. By this point, Luca's head is starting to go in as he's starting just to head first crawl into the box.
I'm gonna...
Anne-Marie, at this point, you are sort of coming to. You're reeling, but you can also see just Luca's legs almost at this point as he's starting to just go into this thing.
Yeah, I grab them with
Candace, what do you want to do?
Oh.
I'm gonna... Can I try to use Obey on Luca?
I obey a no.
Soothe. Yeah. Soothe their mental state, because his mental state's not what it should be. So be a rouse check, and then give me a composure auspex.
Composure auspex, is that what you said?
Composure auspex, yeah. Typically it's just used to restore willpower, but I like more creative uses of this. Also though, this is going to require a willpower on your end, because this is really pushing this power. You're gonna have to sacrifice some of your own mental fortitude to almost give it to him. So it will cost you 1 willpower. Yeah, and if you want a blood surge, you can do so as well.
I would like to do that.
Okay, so do another rouse check.
Another rouse.
Still success.
Damn. 5 successes. Can I re-roll?
You will not need to. As you, the combination. Anne-Marie, give me a. Just trying to pull him out, correct?
Strength.
Athletics. Ooh, a critical. A clean critical with 5 successes each. Both of you spring into action to help as you reach out. You plunge your hand into this darkness a little bit, and you feel this impossible cold. You feel your own hands starting to wither as you grab Luca by the top of the hair, and pull his head out. Luca's pretty strong, though. You're not able to really pull much of his other body. You almost just turn his head to look at you. And you see right now his eyes are just covered in shadow, dripping almost. And you just look. You peer into them, pulling your own beanie up a little bit, using all of your eyes just to make this intense eye contact with him. And you will the shadows away, and you see his clear eyes. As Luca, you see Candace. But as this is happening, most of your arm and shoulder is still in it. There is something pulling you down, but not quite as strong as your Bruja friend Anne-Marie is pulling you. As you start to go in, and then there's just a competing tug from your legs. As Anne-Marie just grabs your leg and by the waist and just rips you back, sort of flinging you backwards because this thing was holding on so tight that once it let go, you almost went flying a little bit.
When I'm feeling being pushed, could I grab what's ever grabbing me and try to pull it out with me?
When you come, it's just shadow. It's water.
Yeah.
It's like you come out and you can almost feel it just sort of break form. You can almost hear it just sort of splash back into nothing.
Okay. Put the lid back on that thing.
In that moment, yeah. Okay. Yeah. You get out. You scramble and you just slam the lid back on this thing.
Thank you. I don't know what overcame me.
Candace, by now you can activate your heightened senses, and you will. The helicopter's still above. You hear footsteps. A group seems to be. You can hear their heavy boots echoing on the metal hull, or the metal deck.
There's a bunch of people that are on the deck now. Does anyone have a lighter match?
I think I do, don't I?
Luca probably would. The fire's dangerous to you. You're still a survivalist.
Yeah. Pull out my Zippo.
Want to set that black hole on fire?
Load nothing more.
All right. We'll start heading out the door and toss it on there, maybe.
So what are you gonna do exactly?
You can either light a smaller thing on fire and throw it, or you can just throw your Zippo onto it.
Yeah.
As we run out the door.
God, I'm trying to.
You would imagine if you just throw a lighter towards this thing, that's not gonna just suddenly catch a box on fire. Especially if you're doing the inside, it's probably just gonna disappear.
Is there any gasoline, oil? No. We just blow this whole fucking boat up.
There's enough boxes where if you
broke a coffin, right?
Really break some coffins down into kindling, you might be able to get some. It's going to take a few moments. So by doing this, you're essentially waiting for whoever landed on this helicopter is probably going to find you by then. You're not going to have time to break wood down small enough for just a regular lighter to catch it and then start a fire.
Right.
and get out before these people find you. So it's sort of picking one. You can do this, but you're going to be waiting for something to find you. Or you could get the hell out.
Take my jacket off. We can light that and toss it onto it. It'll take less time, maybe not burn, maybe have time to put it out, but it will take less time.
It's clever. Yeah, you want to use some of your clothes to do so, absolutely.
Yeah. I'll take my jacket off. Light that.
Who's lighting it?
I'll light it.
Okay. I'll say overall, let's see how quickly and well you can start this fire, because you're trying to do this fast. I think that's going to be survival. We'll say wits survival. The rest of you, I assume, are going to... Oh, you're very good at this. 5 successes. Yeah. You tear a couple strips. You light it perfectly. Wrap it, and you're also strong, you potent. You smash enough of the wood to have just enough kindling, and you just, in record time, create a nice sort of burning source that you think, and you crunch some parts of the coffin itself to also splinter it, so it's not just smooth wood trying to catch fire, and you've got a decent fire going very quickly. But that will also cause a frenzy test for you, as you are going to have to be pretty involved with the flame.
Okay.
Difficulty 2. Frenzy restrained. You're good.
I love fire, dude.
So he's quite quickly gotten the fire started, and it will, at the very least, some of you can sort of, again, not being too close, so maybe toss some of the wooden coffins and maybe try to get this thing to spread to a lot of the stuff. At the very least, this coffin containing this void will be burnt.
Okay. Now we got to get ready for whatever's waiting.
But now you have time. If you wish, you might be able to get out of here before. I mean, it's a huge fucking ship before the people find you.
Yeah.
Yeah. With her auspex, can we figure out where they?
Candace with heightened senses knows like where they're at, because again, it's a big, empty, echoey ship. It's easy for her to track, and the side they're coming down, you guys can go to the opposite side and head up if you'd like.
We'll have, if you're cool, Candace, leading us the way out of here then.
Yeah, let's boogie.
All right, never mind. I jump on the fire pyre. Fire pyre.
This isn't the way. You're making a mistake. Come back. Come back.
There's only one way. It doesn't sound like a fucking choice. Well,
Been surrounded by darkness my entire life. Don't need any more, but sorry.
May your suffering be the catalyst for the freedom.
But you guys are getting the fuck out of there. You head to the opposite side of the ship where they're coming down.
I dropped my therapist business card.
You head up. Your deck side. You can see the helicopter now. Plenty of space for this helicopter to land against a giant empty cargo ship. Immediately spotting an Endron logo on the side. As this is a missing ship of theirs that just appeared. It seems they've sent a team to see what the fuck that's about. So are you trying to be stealthy here? Where are you trying to go? You've avoided the team sent below, but obviously there's going to be someone in the helicopter itself. So it's up to you if you want to try to avoid that or not.
I would like to be stealthy and try to get to where we left our boat and friend.
Sure.
If possible.
Unfortunately, they sort of landed the side where the boat was. So you are going to have to be stealthy to sort of cross and check that side out, because you had to come up the opposite side to avoid the company. So yeah, everyone give me we'll say composure stealth.
I was looking for my powers. I think I have like a shadow thing to help with stealth. I thought.
Yeah, you can activate. It's for free, your shadow cloak. You could get another 2 on that if you want. Candace with 2. Emery with 1. A bestial 1. Luca with 1. Needless to say, you guys are sort of, again, there's not a lot to hide behind because the main part of the ship's empty. So you're trying to just, again, stick to the shadows, even some of the shadow that Luca has created. But as you're doing so, there's a swivel of a light on the helicopter that just sweeps across and quite easily catches your not very stealthy group. You're in the spotlight for a second, and you can hear the sliding door of the side of the helicopter. As it's hard to see, you can kind of just see the silhouette because again the light's between you and them. But you can sort of see the silhouette of someone sort of staring, and they call out, "Stop right there! Who are you? What's going on here?"
I'll look to Anne-Marie with the. Do you have like a badge hanging on, a detective badge or anything?
I'm kind of the sneaky one.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I am
I was
missing
gonna say
an
we don't have
arm.
badges.
I'm missing an arm, and I'm not bleeding or anything. I just can't get up.
Mhm.
The helicopter.
And you got a bestial failure.
Yes,
Mm,
I have to break
Rebellion.
the law.
Yes.
Yes.
Till you've gone against your orders or expectations, you're going to have a penalty. You're going to take a stand against whatever or whomever you see is the status quo in a situation. Whether that's your own leader or a viewpoint expressed by a potential vessel or the task you're supposed to do at the moment. Which could sort of make sense. This is a person
Yes.
working for Endron. Not much more of a authority
And
figure than...
He's just saying to stop, so I'm going to run towards where the boat.
Yeah, they tell you to stop and explain yourself, and you see Anne-Marie just take off in a sprint. You're going to be running past the helicopter towards that side. If that's fine with you.
Yes.
Yeah, you go. You see this person takes off to intercept you. Give me a strength athletics. Since you're not necessarily trying to fight, you're just trying to run.
Yes. Oof. Okay. Okay.
Interesting. So 5 successes. This person runs and they launch themselves at Anne-Marie like a linebacker. Come out of nowhere, hit Anne-Marie pretty hard. Like they get airborne. But Anne-Marie just it gets hit by it. But she just rolls, and with her one good arm and her increased strength still, just sort of flings the person off. And they get flung off, and they land on their back, sliding across the metal deck a little bit. As Anne-Marie just barely phased and just gets to the other side, to where you look over and you can see the boat, your guys' boat. But at this point, the person sort of flips over, and you can see they're pretty athletic as they just spring up on their feet. At this point, you all would recognize Miss Wedgwood, who is... I don't know if you can see her.
Yes.
A native to the area. But someone was one of the families that's lived here for a long time as well. But quite controversially went to work for Endron once they started. Everyone else had a problem with them. She went and joined the enemy pretty early on. And she seems to have done well for herself since then. She comes to town occasionally to try to smooth things over when things get really bad between the company and the town. But she's very much a corporate sellout and that no one really likes because of it. But is also the only one people are willing to listen to at all because she comes from a very respected family in the town. People are still sort of hoping she'll come back and see the ways, but unlikely. But that is who you see.
We all see that?
Yeah.
Or just can't? Okay.
No, all of you can see because she's ran away from, she's not standing behind the light anymore. So now that she's out a little bit, the light sort of swiveling to try to track what's going on.
That's the one that tackled Anne-Marie?
Yes.
I'll look to the girls to see what their reaction is. I'm gonna start probably getting my arms ready, shadow tendrils ready.
Miss Wedgwood, and I'll like kind of jog over.
Okay, Luca freezes and prepares to summon the arms of Ahriman. Candace to say which way, Miss Wedgwood, and then you start running over. It's probably been a while since you've seen her, but yeah, she just sort of looks. What are you doing here?
excellent question. Weird ship popped up in the harbor while a
It's
bunch of
ours.
people.
You shouldn't be here. We have it under control.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you got here so quickly. I mean, you got here after us, but that's okay. We just want to check it out because a ton of people in town are missing. And of course, everyone immediately blames your company, which I know is crazy, whatever, but we wanted to check it out. And so we did. Now here we are.
Get on the deck of the ship now.
We're going to get off the deck of the ship now, now that you guys have everything under control. And I'm sure you'll clean it up perfectly. You're very good at that. So we're going to leave now. But if you decide to leave the company ever, though, maybe try out like for an NFL football team. That's pretty impressive.
So you're being deceptive here. So let's do a manipulation subterfuge. If you want to blood surge or anything, you may. Emery, what are you doing? This compulsion's still going. You don't give a fuck about what this person says. But you do look down. You do see the boat still sort of right next to the side of this massive ship. You're muted.
Boat?
What'd you say
So
you were muted?
I go to the boat. I said that.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
I
you
want to
just
go to the boat.
flip over to where the ladder's down the side, and yeah, a little precarious with one arm now, but you're athletic enough. You start heading down towards the boat.
Once I am close enough, I just jump.
Okay, yeah, you get to where a normal person would not be safe jumping from, but you get to a height where you're comfortable. You just push yourself off and land heavy on this old rickety fishing boat.
I accidentally hit reroll on the thing, but I got 2 successes the first time. I'm gonna reroll 3 of those.
You know, willpower? Yeah, just do WP reroll.
3. Whoop.
One more.
That.
3 successes. Yeah, she just is just sort of looking at you with there's just tension there. She's obviously not buying it, but she's not exactly alarmed either. She does feel in control, like you said. She doesn't believe the reason you're here, but it's not a problem yet. Luca, what are you doing? See, Anne-Marie's gone over.
Okay, and I'll see them talking, and I'll look to Wedgwood. Do you know what your company is importing and exporting on this boat?
Yes.
So you're in on it too?
This boat has been missing for years. I know what was originally on the manifesto, but it seems the cargo is not here.
What
do you mean
in
on
for?
what? I might need you to stay if you have. Maybe we can talk.
We can talk in town. I lost my coat on the way over. It was a rough evening. Like I said, a ton of the town is missing. And honestly, we might be able to use your help as well since you have helicopters on hand. So how about we all just go to the sheriff's office and we can all chat there?
When I'm finished checking this ship, I'll be in town to check on you.
Excellent. Lovely. Good luck. We'll see you shortly. And she'll kind of pull on Luca.
Was Wedgwood's name or any of her relatives' names on the book we found?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some of her family went missing as well, and some remained. She is a pretty big family.
Okay. I'll go with Candace. I was kind of like looking at her, just like confused, and I'll walk away.
Okay. Anne-Marie, down on the actual boat itself, it's immediately can see that Naomi is not on the boat.
Am I calmed down now? Yeah, I think I'm...
Yeah, this will be a new scene, I'll say. You get your bearings, look around. No sign of a struggle or anything, but she's not here.
And now that we know, well, that we have an idea of what was in the water, lurking, I think I feel very bad for her because it's because of us that she was on that boat. But I just explore anything I can find if I can find any signs of struggle.
No, it's a small fishing boat. There's not a lot to see here. Just a quick walk around. You kind of get the gist of it. No differences besides that.
And I look up to see if my friends are coming over.
Yeah, you see them heading down as well. And you can hear just this. It's just these painful noises echoing in your minds as you assume the fire is starting to take hold in the hull of the ship. And you also notice, as you look up and you can quite clearly see your friends coming down, that's weird. You can see them again. And that's because the moon is starting to clear up. Even this harsh blizzard is now almost a peaceful, drifting snowfall. You can see a couple of some of the electronics on the boat start to sort of come to life.
Does it seem like, in general, the shadows are decreasing from the world a little bit? That's why the moon is visible?
Yeah, they're like melting off of the moon.
The keys still in the boat?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna head that down and try to drive this thing back.
Yeah. So you guys are on the boat. You turn the key and get it started. That's where we'll take our break. As I assume you're heading back to town.
Yeah.
Awesome. We'll come back
to
check on that in a little bit. See you then. Bye.
Bye.
We are back, heading into town. Which is not going to be as easy as it seems, because while it's not as dark as the moon is now out again, not a full moon quite, but just actually it's kind of all in the same general space. Yeah, we'll say it still is. But Luke is going to try to navigate this old fishing boat through icy waters to get into town, something previously only Naomi was able to do. So, Luca, please. What
Drive?
do we want this to be? Drive for sure.
Should
We're gonna say I'm gonna say composure.
Can I help with drive?
Yeah, you can kind of be spotting. You got heightened senses. You can help with that. So add 1 to this roll. Actually, we're gonna say wits. This is more of a wits thing. 5 successes. Even with 5 successes, there's some scrapes. There's some precarious moments, but you actually managed to get this all the way back into the docks following some of the shifting ice and mostly frozen areas. Some of it, you're not even driving on water. You have to find like the spots like, okay, we'll break through here, I hope. And if we don't, we're sunk. Thanks to some heightened senses with Candace and your just general skills driving and even a boat. You managed to make it in. This boat probably is not usable anymore, but it'll need some repairs, we'll say. But it got the job done. You guys are back in town. Again, a light snowfall now. No longer this harsh blizzard. Everything's quite illuminated by the large full moon. Where would you like to go first? The people are probably gathered at the diner. But the whole town is your oyster.
Yeah, I say diner. I feel like that's in the middle of town, right?
Now let's go. They might be at the shelter, no? We've gathered them at the shelter.
Oops. Yeah, a bunch of the folk at the shelter, some of the more leadership type people were at the diner. Things are sort of being managed at the shelter already.
I'm heading to the diner.
Okay. You head to the diner. In there is, you see Marlene, you see the sheriff, you see Joe Winters, you see some of the usual, more respected people of the town, the decision makers, we should say, as well as some others. But you also see a stranger. You see a woman you've never seen before. Very dark, weather-worn skin, jet black hair that is very, very long. She's dressed. She also seems to probably be native, although she's dressed quite simply. Definitely not dressed for the cold. And there seems to be like a tense discussion between her and the sheriff and a couple of the others.
When we enter, what can I say the greeting that we heard the crazy cult lady say?
Shin Lamed Mem. Yes. You walk in, you say that. They all turn to look at you. The sheriff tilts his head. What the fuck was that? Lady. What are you saying?
It's so cold. Sorry, that was just shivers. Did the lady react at all?
Give me a wits insight. The sheriff's just confused. The first thing you say after all of this, you go and explore these things, you come in and speak nonsense. I don't know what's gotten into this one. Your coat is gone, and with it goes your mind.
She's a little bit tired. That's all. She
Alexis.
I'm not here. I'm not in the diner.
I was gonna check.
Nope.
Where are you waiting? We'll say. I mean, your truck was at the dock, Luca. We'll say you guys could got in your truck, drove to the diner. You could be waiting in the truck if you want, or anywhere else.
Yeah, I was wondering if we could just swing by my house.
Sure.
And I'll just drop me there, and I'll grab a coat and something, and I'll come right over, and I just bring a huge coat, and just try to hide my
big overcoat to hide the fact that you're one arm less than you were last time they saw you.
Yeah, and put the sleeve over my pocket, so it feels like I'm having my hand in my pocket. Okay.
Okay.
Panic avoided.
Okay, you do that. You head in. We'll say. So, you want to be inside with the rest, or are you waiting outside?
I'm at the doors of the diner inside.
Okay, so you're inside, but you're just sort of standing back.
Yeah.
Okay, so you say that. The sheriff's confused. The woman looks at you, raises a brow, but doesn't really tell a lot with her reaction, at least at first. And then she looks at you, looks at Luca. Then her eyes go wide. You, with your heightened senses, will say, you can see the hairs on the back of her neck stand up. She just turns to the sheriff. Thank you. And she immediately goes to exit.
Can I grab her arm? Well.
How are you doing so? Like forcefully, or in a way to get her attention?
Just, she goes next to me. I grab her arm and try to say to her here, if she doesn't like go out. What's your name, my lady?
You give me a strength athletics.
She can like go wild and
you go, and without even looking, she moves where your hand doesn't even touch hers. And her hand pushes you in the chest against the door. Just in one fluid motion, slams you against the door and just looks at you and leans in. And then she continues just to walk out unless you want to do something.
I'm gonna follow her
You
out.
hit with a force. You hear the door, the wooden door, even crack a little bit at that.
Can someone stay here and ask the sheriff what was this about? I'll try to follow her.
Yeah, Candace said she's following too. So my next move was gonna ask the sheriff who that friend was.
Okay, so you're staying in. Are both of you following or one of you following?
I was gonna follow her out.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything or are you just trailing her?
Oh, I'm trying to be normal in front of everyone, so I just wait a second, I needed to ask you something, and follow her out. Am I frozen on your end?
You are.
Okay.
Now you're
Keeps
fine.
doing that. Okay.
She's ignoring you.
I'm still like walking, trying to catch her. I assume I'm probably out the door.
Sure, yeah, you're out the door. She's heading down the street. You're following. You're quite obviously following, and she's still just ignoring and walking.
Does she start running?
Nope.
Okay, I don't really want to run around town. There's a lot of other things going on, so can you just stop for a second so we can talk?
She does not. As you're getting further from the diner.
Yeah, I'll run to her and grapple her, try to catch her. She's pretty strong, so
this will be at a negative. You're trying to full on grapple her because of a penalty for crippling injury. 3 bestial failure. You are getting frustrated with this. You walk up, not even realizing your fangs are bared, and you go up and you just sort of jog that last little bit and reach out and grab her. And you do grab her on the shoulder, and she grabs your arm and turns and just whips you and just throws you like you are a toy into off the side of the street in between some houses and an alleyway. Quite obvious to both of you that was very much a supernatural feat of strength. As she whips you into the alley, and then Candace, you see she takes off immediately after Anne-Marie, like throws her into the alley and then is running her down. Back in the diner, yeah, you need to ask the sheriff. I don't know. She comes, she asks questions, won't even say name. Quite rude. Never seen her before.
What kind of question was she asking?
She wanted to know what was going on here. She was just asking, I guess, about all this, I tell her I don't know. She doesn't believe. This and that. She gets angry. I had it under control. But, I don't know. She fucked off. Not my problem.
True, but kind of curious that a stranger would show up in the middle of a blizzard when half our town's missing, don't you agree?
Very much so, yes. She was acting like I was weird one. Like I had things to answer for. She should be answering questions.
Huh. She didn't have a car or anything?
I don't know. She waltzed into here. And with this, the door opens again. You see CJ. Comes in. He is looking not good. He's looking worn, weathered. You can even see frostbite has started to set in as sort of his earlobes and the tip of his nose. And he looks in wildly and sees you, Luca, eyes going wide.
CJ, what's going on?
A lot. I don't know. You gotta help. There's and then someone else sort of walks in. Just when the townsfolk comes in from behind him, they're back. they're back, and they run back outside. He goes, I don't know, that's good. And yeah, immediately with this, people start getting up in the diner and start heading outside. Where you can see a large group of the townsfolk have returned. Most of the missing people you now see. You see Cheese, Marlene's grandchild, sort of pushes through a couple people and sees one of the younger teens in the town, one of their friends. He says, I knew you wouldn't leave without me. And they rush forward to them, and they both just hug, and you can see them both just crying.
I'm going to take CJ aside. If everyone's leaving the diner, I'm like, if there's a loose coat that someone left behind, put it over around them. I need to help with who?
And then you hear, what the fuck? And you look over, and the grandkid is thrown to the ground, and their friend is just stomping on them. The sheriff rushes in and just like knocks him over. What the fuck, man? And then someone else rushes the sheriff. The sheriff has to pull a gun out and is pointing, and the person just stares at it, not even caring, and then rushes the sheriff. Then you see these other people that are starting to welcome and embrace these people have come back, are just getting into these physical altercations. And then this is where CJ grabs you. The lake. They went to the lake. I followed them. I tried getting here before they did. They're back to fuck shit up. A woman at the lake is making them do this shit. I don't know how to explain it. I know it sounds insane, but you have to believe me.
I'll describe the lady that walked out to CJ. Is this the lady?
No. She was. It was just. She was like a fucking shadow. Just like it was. I don't know how to explain it. But it's. I swear. I believe you. Get somewhere safe. We got to go out there. They're not gonna stop.
We don't have to. You need to get somewhere safe. I'll go out there and stop them.
Yeah. I'll help here. And he goes and he rushes and tries where he sees someone sort of getting jumped by some of these people, and CJ rushes to try to help them. And it's just a weird thing where these fights are breaking out, but obviously the people who weren't gone don't want to hurt these people. So they're doing their best to defend themselves. And luckily these people aren't armed, but it's still, there's just confusion and all these emotions of so happy to see them, and then just confusion. It's pandemonium is starting to settle here as half the town is rushed out to see that their loved ones have returned, but now they're just caught in this chaos of all the people have returned, now just attacking them just at a whim. But yeah, that's you grab CJ, and yeah, he does that. What's your next move? Where are you going?
Can I, if the sheriff's car is here, could I do I have
sheriff's car's
firearms?
Here, your truck is here.
I have firearms. I'm a hunter. Can I grab a gun out of my truck or something, and absolutely. I just want to shoot it into the air and try to quiet both sides?
Yeah, you go. You take a couple shots off. The only people who seem to react to it or notice it at all are the ones that were already here. The other ones are just completely blank slates, completely blank stares. They don't even seem like angry or feral or anything. Just emotionlessly violent.
I'm going to tell everyone to get away from everyone who's returned. Get back in the diner now, and I'll do another couple shots.
Yeah, I mean, some of them are trying to fall back. I mean, people are trying, but like I said, it's just a mass fight on the street, and it's even hard to tell who's on what side right now.
Okay. I'm gonna try to. Fuck me. I'm gonna get in my car. I'm gonna try to find these girls, and then go to the fucking lake, I guess.
Yeah, you get your car. You know the direction they went, and you start heading that way. Anne-Marie, you're tossed. You hit the ground, sliding in the snow, coming to a stop. Stop yourself with your one arm. You see this woman is running you down now, running after you. Instantly is dropping to all fours as you see her form starting to change, elongate, bulge, hair just starting to cover all exposed skin. as you see her snout starting to grow as well. As you just sort of hear just a growl, just something about the worm. Candace, you are behind her as you see this happen. She transforms, letting out a howl, a piercing howl, which is returned somewhere else in town, and then returned in a different part of town. What would you two like to do?
I'm not good. I'm not feeling like I'm not going to fight. I can't. So,
you can do an
like-
all-out defense if you just want to defend yourself without fighting back. Give you an extra dice, or if there's something else you want to do.
is this woman between me and Candice?
Yes.
Yeah, because I'm in this alley.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I just try not giving punches back, just try to defend myself.
Yeah, you have two options. You can defend. You also have celerity. You can try to just fucking run too. It's up to you.
Oh, I have that. Oh, I have rapid reflexes. So
yeah.
I
So
just
if you want to
try-
do Dax Athletics, I'll lower
Yeah.
the difficulty for you a little bit.
Oh, I don't
And,
have much dex. Okay.
If you want to get away, and you won't necessarily be at a penalty because you're just running, so your loss of a limb won't affect this. Do you
Yeah.
want a blood surge at all?
Yes, I'll
Okay.
do that.
Success. You don't get hungrier. Okay. So add 2 dice. Dex Athletics.
Okay.
Anne Marie, what do you want to do?
Candace would like she's sprinting after them. She's not super fast or anything, but she's sprinting after them, and oh no, and she doesn't have any like real knowledge about the kindred community to begin with, let alone what the fuck just happened to this lady and why there's wolves howling everywhere. But she does have pop culture knowledge, so
Yeah, this is a werewolf.
yeah. So she's like, what the fuck? And just like, lady, are you gonna help us? Or we're not with the shadow people? And she's just like screaming this out there in between like cursing. Like, we're trying to stop them.
I'll say, give me a charisma persuasion, but it'll be very, very difficult.
Yeah.
Emery, you got 1 success. A bestial again. You love those.
I'll never play vampire in this PC again.
So I've rolled 4 1s and 2 2s, so I did not roll great, but I got 1 success. So you 3 successes for Candace. Although each of you can do a willpower reroll if you want.
Nope, I can't.
Oh, you're out of.
When you said that I had aggravated it, I had to mark them on my full willpower squares, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I don't have any willpower left.
Okay. Emery's had a tough time. That's okay.
Fuck. I'll reroll.
So they only beat you by 1.
So I have 4 successes now.
Okay, so they beat you by 1, but werewolves have a +3 damage. So that's 4 non-half superficial damage.
For me?
Yes.
Okay,
I will say, does that put you?
I'm not down, but I am
impaired. Your health tracker's
impaired.
full.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to be at an additional -2 to anything physical. So, Anne-Marie gets up and just sprints past, spinning out of the way, luckily not taking the full brunt, as this werewolf throws themselves at Anne-Marie, who got up much quicker than they anticipated. Still manages to just reach out with a claw and just scrape just all across her back, just opening her up immediately, tossing her into one of the buildings a little bit, but she sort of bounces back, and Anne-Marie is running towards you, Candace, and is starting to distance herself as you say these things, and this creature turns and looks at you with just barely a hint of recognition of humanity in the eyes. This is a full predator right now, enough to just give it pause, but you don't think you're going to be able to talk this thing down, but you've bought yourself a moment as it considers what you've said. What do the two of you want to do?
Run.
And you see Anne-Marie is now in a bad spot, physically.
Yeah. As Anne-Marie runs past me, I know I can't get away, but so I'll just kind of shift over into the path where Anne-Marie was running, and just like hold up my hands and continue to just try to talk. Now I see there's been a little bit of recognition, and just be like, I said that mumbo jumbo because I thought you were one of them, and they took all the people in the town, and there's like this demon thing in the ocean, and it's trying to eat us with its shadows, and I don't know what's going on, but I really like wolves, so please help us.
There's another howl, this time much closer. The one in front of you answers back, and slowly is just moving towards you. So more like in a stalking motion now on all fours. Luca, you're driving down. They didn't get that far down the street, and everyone's the opposite direction because that's where people came into town. They came out to meet them. This wolf led them into town more. But yeah, you see Anne-Marie sprint out in the middle of the street a little ways ahead, and you see Candace just hands up, just looking into an alleyway, doing what she does.
Just mumbling crazies.
Yeah, I'll cut to Anne-Marie to let her get in, if I'm able to.
Yeah. So the Lucas truck skids to a stop right behind you guys. Are you guys hopping in? Anne-Marie, you probably just
see the wolf
throw yourself in the back of the truck is what you probably have the most time to do. With celerity and your athletics, even though you're impaired, it's not too hard for you to put one hand up and just with one jump toss yourself in. Skidding to a halt, looking down at whatever the hell Candace is yelling to. Yeah, you see a hulking werewolf. And I mean, you're very familiar with wolves. You had one once. But this is, you can tell by its posture. It's like when they circle to position something right. And you heard that other howl too. This thing's getting you guys in a position to be surrounded.
Okay.
You, with your age and you actually being in Vampire Society, I'll also probably know of wolves. You have a call. Yeah. Obviously, quite mortal enemies of kindred.
Right.
There's not really negotiating with a werewolf. You represent taint, evil, corruption, everything wrong with the world. There's no such thing as a good kindred to a werewolf at all. The only werewolves that you've heard actually having conversations, specifically the Sabbat, there are evil werewolves. That's the best chance you have. So unless these are evil werewolves, they're not gonna, even then, they probably aren't going to listen to you.
Yeah. So with all that, and we're in my truck with my hunting rifles, I'm gonna over Candace's
Okay,
shoulder.
give me composure firearms. Candace, what are you doing? The truck is pulled up. Anne-Marie's thrown herself in the back.
I'm gonna. How do we regain willpower without sleeping again?
You don't.
Do good stuff.
Yeah, stuff with your
Real nice.
touchstone usually. That's how you got it before.
Look.
Or you have a power to regain. You can help other people regain willpower. But right now, it's a fight or flight moment for you. You're getting in the truck, or are you standing your ground?
Well, I was gonna ask if I could try to use Obeya on them as well.
Got 3 successes.
I'll say what you've gathered from the situation, you might be able to, again, use Obeya to maybe stall them, but in a moment, there's going to be more of them. And there's, even if you manage to maybe get this one where it's not willing to rip you apart, at any moment more will come.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to calm them.
Yeah. All right, well, then I'll just try to turn and jump into the truck wherever is easiest.
Yeah, probably the back. Amory can reach out and grab you and toss you in the bed of the truck. 3 successes. Using a rifle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you've pulled up. See her, you've just sort of rest the barrel on the window a little bit to steady it. You get a clean shot, clipping this thing right in the head. As it yelps out, and you see blood spray as it rears back for a second, just shakes, just frothing. You can already see its skin starting to meld back together, as it is now in a sprint towards the truck.
We really need your help, though.
Fucking driving.
Give me a
to the lake.
dex wits drive.
You give me one first.
Do you want to use anything with this?
I thought she was one of the bad
I'll
guys.
rouse the
I'm
blood.
sorry.
Your blood surging?
Yeah.
The two of you want to do anything from the back of the truck?
Ugh, I'm hungry. I'll add 1 hunger.
Add it after the roll.
I'll rise the blood to mend my
Superficial. Good call. Good call. How's the blood? I think you'll heal 2 for your blood level.
Hold on, let me check.
X drive, right?
Well, yeah, 2.
Wits. Okay, you rouse the blood. You start mending the wounds that are able to be mended, getting 2 superficial health back. Candace, are you doing anything? 7 messy critical.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to use Valerian to heal Anne-Marie more.
Okay.
It wants to do like the...
Roll intelligence fortitude. You may blood surge if you'd like. If you beat it by enough, you think you can actually heal aggravated.
Is intelligence fortitude.
Intelligence fortitude, add 2.
7 successes.
Ooh, so that's Valerian's against
7 and
difficulty
7.
2 for every 3 above that. Oh, you missed it by... So if you want to willpower, if you get 1 more success, you can heal 2 aggravated.
No. Keep it.
I have 2 willpower left.
It's up to you. You're 1 away from an extra aggravated heal, but as it is now, you will heal 1 aggravated damage.
Are you okay just healing 1 aggravated damage? Okay. We'll just keep it there then.
Do you have any superficial as well?
Yes, 2.
So with 2 more, I'll say with that, you can do the 2 using the 3 over, so 5 would go towards the aggravated. You have 2 extra, that could be 2 more superficial.
Oof. Yo.
Oh, wait. So it's up to you. Also, you have an alternative, so that's taking a turn. If you want to spend this whole scene, this whole chase,
okay,
then you're not doing anything else for the remainder of this chase.
Yeah.
But you'll be healing more if you want to do that instead.
Yeah, I can't really do anything the rest of the time.
Because using
so
that, so difficulty 0. So
0, it's 7.
7, you would heal 2 aggravated automatically. Potentially 3 if you willed. Okay, so she has 3 aggravated.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll say you're spending... So, yeah, Candace, you're there. Or Amory, you're there. Candace is just sort of focusing on your arm. Where your arm was, the withering. And just exuding their own aura, their own just healing presence, something supernatural that is not making your arm grow back. Well, actually, yeah, they grow back necessarily, but closing the wound, making it to where it's not so detrimental to you as a person, to your physical capabilities at this moment. Luca got a 7 messy on their drive. Emery, what are you doing?
I can try to, like, with my other hand, make a shot with my... What do I have? I don't remember.
I think you have a pistol. Yeah, go ahead. Give me composure firearms. This will be at the -3 though, because it definitely helps having 2 hands to steady a weapon.
Let me. I'll do it again then. Oops.
Sorry.
It's okay.
That happens. Luca got a 7 messy crit. Your Lasombra compulsion activates ruthlessness. The Lasombra failure is not an option. Your blood will urge them to act conceivable to reach their goals, whether in the moment or some grand plot. Any setback is felt profoundly, and you quickly escalate to the most ruthless of methods until you achieve your aim. Your goal right now is getting out of here, getting to the lake, I should say. And your whatever's the path that will take you there. While it will be a little harder to drive through where the chaos is happening, it's definitely going to help to pull these werewolves through the crowd and through this mess, have other things to distract them, so they can't just focus on you. So you just start barreling towards where some of the people are starting to get in. The sheriff's doing his part to try to help file people to the diner. There's still plenty of people in the street, and not a problem for you, because the ultimate goal, right? Get these werewolves off your tail, get to the lake, cut off the head of this thing. People are gonna get hurt. It happens. Anne-Marie. 5 successes. Okay.
Nope. I've rerolled because I had a penalty of 3 dice.
So one bestial. Yeah. So
not
Did it
not
re-roll
my
Did it re-roll the hunger dice?
No,
that what it
I've made another roll because
all she had was 3, and her hunger's 3. So you get a couple shots off. Definitely hit the thing, but still leaps. Luckily, the truck's peeling away. Luckily, his truck's made for the ice, so it doesn't spin out on the snow too much. This is the chain tires, and as they're going, this wolf catches the back end. Actually rips the tailgate off as it's hanging on. But you are able to just sort of whip into one of the buildings and toss this thing, and it pulls the whole back, the tailgate part that comes down, actually comes off with this thing's strength, but so does the wolf as it goes into a building, just taking a chunk of the truck with it. As you are barreling towards this crowd of people, give me another dex. Or this is going to be a dex drive, as you're now into the crowd. Candace, you're fully focusing on Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie, looking around, you can see, keeping pace with you on the roof is this werewolf. And you see another one a ways down the road slide into the street in full wolf form and just it seems like it's going to catch up to you, even though you're in a moving vehicle. 3 successes. Bestial.
About to make a bunch of people speed bumps right now.
There is well, it depends. Emery, what do you want to do at this moment? You see this. One's running down the road, slowly catching up to you. One's parallel with you on the roof. But looking forward, you can see Luca's driving right towards a crowd of people.
I'll try and shoot again, but I mean, I can just kick it. Like, I'll kick the werewolf that's in the car.
Oh no, that one's off.
Oh,
that one
okay. So
yeah, he with his high drive, he was able to whip that one off. There's none on the truck right now.
oh, okay.
So you might be able to do something to try to scatter some of the people, because it looks like Luke is heading right for some of them. Or you can focus on one of the werewolves that's closing in.
I can only like yell, "Get the fuck out of here!"
You have presence. You have daunt.
Yeah, but I have a penalty of my willpower.
Yeah, but
Because
they're unsuspecting mortals. It wouldn't be your power would work nearly
Okay.
automatically on them.
So I activate Dawn.
We'll still do a roll to see if you affect the
Yes,
the possessed as
like,
well. But this will work on the
intimidation.
yeah.
And
Intimidation. We'll say this is kind of a charisma thing, not really manipulative. We'll do a charisma, intimidation, and then add your presence.
Okay, and then I
Then the 2 penalty.
subtract. Yeah, so I'll just subtract 1.
-1. Okay.
intellect.
2. So you, not even focusing on the werewolf, scream ahead for them to get out of the way, maybe taking a shot to get their attention. And yeah, all the other townsfolk immediately notice this car coming now, even though they're in the middle of fights, and they scramble away. It even gets to, it shakes for a moment a couple of the like seemingly possessed ones. But there is still, there's a definite speed bump. Luca blasts through one of them that didn't quite get out of the way. Luca, you're the one driving, so you're the only one who probably saw at the last second Joanna look over in the headlights before she's thrown over the vehicle. But that causes a panic, that causes screaming, that does cause a ruckus in the street that sort of closes in. And Anne-Marie, looking back, you see the one that was chasing up has to slow down. This werewolf isn't about to run through a crowd of people, and it turns off into a side road, not able to directly pursue you. Still leaving the one above. Luca, you notice that well. You're driving, you've gotten through the crowd, you're heading your way out of town, but you can still see this one starting to lose you a little bit because it's having to jump on some of the buildings. It's quickly running out of buildings. It's about to probably have to leap for you. Do you want to try to use drive or something else to navigate this?
I think I'm gonna stick with drive. Let me check.
Give me another wits drive then. 3 successes. Are you willpowering that?
You know what? Yeah.
Okay, reroll 3.
Ooh.
2 more successes, which makes you beat them by just 1, which is just enough. As this thing comes off the roof, hits the side of your car. Like the passenger seat, the window shatters, the roof caves in a little bit. This whole creature landed firmly on, just crushing in with the weight. You feeling the truck pull as it does so, and you see just this enraged feral wolf maw just staring down and growling at you, starting to come in, and you just turn into it. You're at the outskirts of town, sort of one of these last little outpost buildings. You have a big fucking truck. You just go through it. You take the corner of this building, destroying the building, but also completely scraping the wolf off it as it looks over, just in time to just take the full brunt, not quite able to catch on, the claws scratching against the side of the truck before it's scraped off. The building sort of just, again, obliterated, the roof starting to collapse in behind it. This truck has seen better days, but you've broken out of the town proper now. They're on that main stretch of highway. Looking through the opening that was your passenger side and sort of out the back, it seems you've put enough distance and you've lost these creatures. At a cost, but whatever's necessary. Throughout this time, Anne-Marie, you may now heal your 2 aggravated wounds. 2, 3, 4, 6, and then 1 superficial.
Yeah, I'm full health.
Full shit.
Thank
You have
you.
1 more aggravated. You got 3 aggravated.
She has heal 1. before, right?
I don't think so. She hasn't healed you since you got it.
She okay. Oh, I had an aggravated from the werewolf. No, like
No, that was superficial. You got superficial from the werewolf. You healed that yourself. Candace has only healed you once, and it's been this whole time, right?
This time.
Oh, okay.
I had 7 successes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
it was like,
so since she used the whole scene at difficulty 0.
Yep.
Have you healed anyone else tonight? I don't think you have.
No, because
Okay, so you're not having you're not taking health damage yourself yet.
Right.
And even though it says alternatively you can mend aggravated instead of superficial, I'm just gonna let it both happen because that was a lot of success.
And I can only heal someone once a night, so that's why I hadn't used it yet.
Yep.
I can still like have my superficial. I won't be like it's okay.
No. So you're good. You just have the one aggravated now. So yeah, it took that whole time where Candace just focusing as this truck's going back and forth. At one point, you're just showered in splintered wood as you go through a building. Candace just focusing the whole time on you. And as you start to get out of the city or the town and leave it in your rear view, you can feel just your body itself mended to a point where you're feeling a little more yourself. Still missing that arm, but there's still a lot you can do with that one. Even though you still have the injury from the crippling chart, I will say it's down to a -1 instead of a -3.
Okay. Thank you, Candace.
Whew. You're welcome.
The wolves
are back.
Well, I hope those dogs are good at tracking because I do kind of want them to follow us. We could feed them other vampires.
And you can also see as you're heading out of town, there are some people that we're missing that are running back in the same direction you're going.
Okay. I'm heading straight to the lake.
Okay.
Vacus Lake, I think.
Yes, Vacus Lake.
All right. Popular ice fishing spot. Let's do it.
It takes some time to get there. You have a little bit of time to contemplate, discuss anything if you want to. Otherwise, you could just sort of ride in silence, preparing for what's next.
Well, they're in the back, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to be slowly contemplating the life I probably just took of innocent Joanna, with my compulsion taking over.
Your compulsion starts to fade as you've accomplished.
Yeah, so the guilt starts to set in for my poor kindred undead heart. So yeah, I'll probably be in a silent solitude up in the cab.
Eventually, though, you find that winding road, your truck in bad shape, but still able to handle it, leading to Vacus Lake. This massive lake, a little inland, but still technically connected to the ocean, actually. This time of year is completely frozen solid. And as you sort of pull up to a vantage point looking down into where the lake rests, you sure enough can see a gathering of individuals on the lake. Some townsfolk. You can see, now that the moon's out, it's almost like illuminating, like it's reflecting off the ice, but almost like from underneath the ice too, where it's this beautiful like ice blue glow just radiating from the moonlight hitting this very smooth, where normally there'd be a lot of snow covering the lake as well. The snow is clear. It's just that crystalline, glassy surface of the lake itself. And then dominating the lake is this large rectangle in black chalk, just pretty much carved
door.
out to the massive middle of this lake, where you see a figure from this distance, just a silhouette standing in the middle of it.
Might be like a portal.
I think this is the door she was talking about on the boat.
And I assume the person in the middle is the one we have to eliminate.
Yeah. Cut off the head of the snake. I don't know how to go about this. Do we want to? I don't know.
I think they might unleash their army upon us. Like everyone that was in town and just started fighting.
There's not a lot of people here. Like I said, there's a handful of people. You assume they're townsfolk because they're clothed.
Yeah.
You only see a couple that maybe are with this cult. This figure standing in the middle, just a silhouette. And there is one standing by the group gathered. There's a group of folk gathered along the edge of this door.
Could I, with the moonlight shining on these people, and I'm a hunter survival, if I don't have a scope on my rifle, could I attach one and get a better look to see who the figure is and who I might recognize?
The gathered, there's just barely a dozen people that seem to be left. Among them, your touchstones, though. You see another one of these nude figures with a little pouch around their neck, standing near them, looking at them, talking to them. You can see their mouth moving and the people responding. You can tell by their posture, they don't have that glazed look, that empty stillness. They're themselves. The person in the middle, you move your scope to a feminine figure, but literally just like complete shadow, all black. Just there weren't necessarily just a silhouette because of the distance. Now they're looking at them. They're literally just almost like they've been dumped. Oil's been dumped on them and it's slowly just dripping off, and you can see it sort of pooling at their feet.
Does it look like they know that we're here with my truck, or okay? So we still have the element of surprise.
No, I'm assuming you probably know when you were coming up to the lake. You could have pulled over and approached on foot. And you don't see any. They don't have any like. You don't see any guards or anything of the sort.
Do I take the shot now, or do we get closer, guys?
Can we assess like when the people that were starting to run off from the street and come back to the lake are coming?
So they're on foot. So you have some time. Yeah. It'll probably take them some time to get.
Yeah. So, but we need to act now while we have our back not being flanked by emotionless hounds.
Yeah. Yes.
So, do you want to get closer, or do you want me to take some shots off now? Or do you guys have any plans?
I don't. I clearly don't have any plans.
Okay. Candace?
So the shadow person in the middle of the chalk circle, right? They're in the middle of the chalk circle. So they're most likely the entity, right? Very strong. Can just like
I think she's going to be the vessel of the whatever is in the lake.
Yeah, so can like attack people pretty effortlessly, pull you into like a bottomless portal. So how do we fight a shadow vampire? Luca. Just light them on fire like before, shine bright lights at them? I mean, like, I don't.
Yeah,
Is that about it besides the normal vampire stuff?
We should have a bazooka. God damn it.
Yeah, as these battle strategies start to form, Luca, your training, your ruthlessness, also offers another dark thought. You remember the one in the boat said like for this door to open, they need to be able to be free of their shackles. Then the door just takes requires that and blood, lots of blood. They're probably not going to be able to open this door without sacrificing the gathered people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Which
Can you notice
you sacrificing them instead, taking away an ingredient they need to do this, but at the cost of their lives. Or if you're able to just protect them. Or at the end of the day, eventually you need to deal with whatever this main entity is too.
Yeah.
Can you see how they like? Are they moving like Harjit, Eloise?
Yeah, no, they're themselves. You can see just by them looking around, and whoever this man talking to them is clearly, you could tell by the body language, trying to like calm them down, like a hand on their shoulder, looking at them and like.
I want, and you guys can help me get close enough and like scream like with every fiber of my body, run to them, and we could all scream together. I could try to put all my strength, my blood in it. I don't know.
Like
No.
try to daunt the humans away? Is that what you're saying? Make them run away so we don't even have to worry about them?
Yeah, but they could be like insta kill.
Yeah, that's why.
If they are not dead yet, that's because it's not the time, right? So.
Well, there's what, two kindred down there?
Maybe, I think more.
Just the two that you can see.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if we get close enough, we can send them and be there to protect.
Both of us could scream, and then Luca could like shoot one of them at the same time.
Or, as you're speaking, you can also see, or it seems like this liquid's dripping off this person. It's slowly, quite slowly, but steadily just spreading. Starting to fill this doorway.
The chalk.
So I'm thinking these people are fucking insane, these cultists, these nihilist people, as we saw on the boat. You're good at talking, right, Candace?
Yeah.
Tricking people.
I'm good at distracting people.
Yeah. So what if you make yourself known and you make something up as like you're the Shadow's vessel, the plan is over, blah, 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 and I'll add to your deception with fucking with their shadows, with my shadows, and try to call them off so they can get away from the people, and then we assess. I don't know. You're also putting yourself right there in a target.
That's fine.
And I could add the dawns.
Yeah.
I think keeping the one kindred that's talking to them from being able to get them is important. So either distracting him, and then Anne-Marie, you daunt all the humans away, and Luca, you be there to shadow hand them, whatever you do, or shoot them. But I think we got to do this now because they're
yes, we don't have much
things
time.
are spreading.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna summon the arms of Ahriman.
Wits Oblivion.
Need to rouse first, don't I?
Or I could run over there and.
You still have a truck too.
Like, yeah, they are distracted, so I could just like either I can't really I'm not that good of a driver, but I don't want to like do anything stupid, so I could either run there and distract them.
Hungry again.
What's your hunger at?
I still need to add 2, so now I'm at 4.
Okay.
Oh, I should
your
roll
hunger,
before.
your new hunger after.
Yeah, I gotta do
roll?
So it's 3 right now, and then I'll do my roll, and then
That'll be 4.
Yeah. So
Okay.
wits, oblivion.
Yes.
No modifiers. Gotcha.
7.
Oh God. Okay. Messy. Fuck.
Yeah, it's you're done fucking around now.
Yeah. I'm already at that
as
kind of mindset already. So.
Very potent, hate-filled, shadowy arms leak from your shadow, just aching, ready to rip apart whatever stands in your way.
Cool. So now I don't need to make an excuse for why I'm going to be doing the things I'm about to do. All right.
What's the approach here? What's everyone else doing? Are you driving the truck in? Are you shooting from a distance first? Are you guys splitting up and trying to approach in different ways? The way where it's sort of the hills go down into the lake itself, there's really no stealthing in. They'll be able to spot you from a ways away. So you can either use a truck and approach fast, or try to approach calmly and see if they'll wait. But
no, can I run there, but not like directly into them, just at the side, so I can then go out of the car and run?
Yeah, who are you running towards? Your touchstones?
No.
You're running towards the person in the middle?
Yeah, like wanting to, like in football, just.
So you're just taking off in a sprint towards this person in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Candace.
I'm fine with just walking down to the person who has.
Oh. You want to be closer before me? Didn't.
So you're heading towards the gathering, the group of people?
Yeah, and I was gonna grab the chalk bag necklace from Anne-Marie before I went.
Okay.
And just act super, super depressed. Happy, sad to be there.
Okay. Luca.
Okay.
I'll be with Candace, and I'm gonna make like. Are my shadows no? Could I hide my arms in the shadows?
You can keep them within your actual shadow, sure.
Okay. Well, I kind of want to put them on Candace's shadow, so it looks like she's the one, the chosen.
You would sort of have to blend the two. They couldn't. They have to come
fine.
from your shadow. But yeah, you can sort of
Okay.
walk next to her and have the two shadows meld and control them.
Okay. I'll do that. And just look depressed. Well, Luke already does, so.
Okay. So you two are approaching the gathered group. And you can see they look over at you. The kindred with them slowly turns and then looks at them. And just nodding. And you can see takes a knife from one of them and hands it to Eloise. Is just looking at her. Eloise is looking past towards you two, confused. He sort of grabs her face and turns it towards him, and you can't see hear what he's saying yet so far, but just looking at her and saying something reassuring. Anne-Marie, you've taken off in a sprint towards this person in the middle. And they sort of shift, and part of this inky shadow melts from their face as you see Naomi.
Stop. With the.
That's what you hear, Anne-Marie.
From Naomi? What if I don't? What? Stop.
You don't have to. But if you don't want to, I
Ah.
will need a
I don't have any
intelligence
willpower.
resolve
Oh.
from you.
Oh.
2 successes.
Yep. With the
She's the aggressor, so it's still it's a stop that echoes in your ears and in your mind, and you do just that stopping, sliding on the ice a little bit, and then you're yourself again. But through that, you're sort of looking down. Candace, Luca notices as well. The ice you're walking on, it's crystal clear, and you can just see at the other side of the ice bodies, just frozen under the lake, but against the surface. Some recent townsfolk that went missing that weren't back. Some people have been missing for a while. You recognize a couple from local missing persons cases, Candace. You as well, Anne-Marie. But there's quite a collection of bodies just floating just underneath the surface, just staring up at you from under the ice. What do you two want to do in your approach as you're manipulating the shadows?
I'll give their little greeting again.
You give them their traditional greeting. They look confused. Denise looks heartbroken at this, actually. Looks down. The main, the one that's the kindred with them also looks confused at you. You using your you want to use your shadows to sort of add to this, so they kind of use your shadow cloak. Give me a manipulation subterfuge. Also, you can add 2 for his assistance and for the shadows.
Manipulation.
Candace, if you want a blood surge, you may.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Nice.
Rousing success.
Heck yeah. Manipulation subterfuge.
Anne-Marie, you stopped. That command happened, but you shook free. It was just a momentary thing. You can continue pursuing her if you'd want. But you could see in that moment you stop, she's refocused some of her shadows that are now snaking out towards you. So if you want to continue approaching, I'll need to resolve composure from Anne-Marie. 5 successes. Yeah, the man returns a greeting to you. He just looks confused. You've seen that it's the only way. But and he looks towards the ones gathered and looks towards you. I sense you're not free. You may do the honors and join us in welcoming Shalim. He sort of steps aside and gestures towards the gathered. Untie your anchor. Anne-Marie, what are you doing?
I'll shoot her. I won't get any closer, but I still am
Ooh, okay. You're gonna shoot from
very
where you are.
close. But I'm I'm gonna shoot from where
Are
where
you
I
blood
am.
surging?
Yeah.
All right.
Why not?
Blood surge, compose your firearms for you. Candace, Luca, what are you doing? You get hunger. What's your hunger at, Anne-Marie?
4.
4. Okay.
So it's a firearms composure, right?
Yes, add 2.
At 2. Yeah, minus
Add
1.
2 from
so
blood surge, so
only-
add 1.
Eh.
3. Candace, Luca, what are you doing? He stepped aside to allow you to the touchstones.
I'm gonna definitely put myself in between Eloise and the kindred. But I'm looking like I'm pretending to be like Candace's servant.
Sure,
or
sure.
what have you.
Candace, what are you doing?
Was the person just like blocking them? Was that like
He handed Denise the knife and was telling them like, now, do it now, pretty much. But you've come and he's gonna allow you to truly free yourself, since it seems you've seen the error of your ways.
Mhm.
Stepped aside. Denise is still holding the knife.
Yes.
And she's just looking at you with just a heartbreak in her eyes, as she also believes that you've joined whatever this is. You hear a shot ring off. Harjit, the boy, takes off running towards Anne-Marie and just says, "Be careful!" But you 0 successes on that. You land a solid shot on Naomi, just right in the chest. Blood and that black shadow ichor just sprays out her back as this bullet just punched her center mass. And she looks up at you now, and you see a twinge of emotion from her calm face as her shadows start to or she's now attacking you, but you got a solid shot off on her. Candace, Luca, so that's happening. Harjit yelled out. You heard him yell in support of you, and he's running to help you. What are you two doing?
Did the kindred react at all, the one with us, to that shot?
No, he doesn't seem worried about her at all.
Cool. I'm gonna keep the same composure as they have and solemnly turn to Denise and take the knife from her.
She hands it to you.
What was it that the lady on the ship said? Something about like choices or something like that? Like,
you could choose
we're all
suffering,
given...
or you could choose freedom.
Yes. So I'll say looking into Denise's eyes, trying to like will her to know what I'm thinking, but trying to make sure she understands. And I'll repeat that. I'll say you can choose suffering, and then in that moment I'll turn around and try to slice the throat of the kindred behind me.
Okay, Luca, what are you doing? Give me a dex melee.
Could I aid her in that with using my shadows to grapple the
Wits Oblivion.
Okay.
Emery, what's your next move?
I shoot again.
Okay, do another shot.
Oh,
Luca
okay.
got 5 on a messy critical.
What do you want me to roll?
A dex melee.
Dex
Stab.
melee.
Emery with a
Excellent.
2.
I'm gonna rouse because I got Jack. Woo! I'm gonna
Reroll 2 of those with a willpower.
I'm gonna reroll 2 of them.
While that's happening, Emery, you get another shot.
Okay.
You shoot. This time she's ready, and she doesn't even step. She just glides, just quickly sliding to the side. The bullet barely missing her. And then she glides forward, and as she does, she gets smaller and smaller, shrinking, melding into the shadows on the ice that's leaking out around your feet, and she's now melded with it. A moment later, you look around, you're just standing, you're surrounded now in shadow, and it starts moving up your legs rapidly.
Okay. Do you want to do the Lucas action, maybe?
Yeah, we'll see. So Candace got 2 with Lucas 5. So yeah. With 2, it's luckily because of Lucas' critical, completely grabs all the limbs and just like pulls all the limbs wide, leaving just open for you to go and stick the dagger in and start just pulling down, cutting. And the person just looks at you wide-eyed. And just looks confused and is struggling against the shadows, but firmly held. And then, no, free yourself. I am already free. I will need a intelligence resolve from Candace.
Can I use fortify the inner facade?
Yes, that
Is it
applies to
applicable?
this. Yes.
And you
It's automatic,
said
so add your fortitude rating to this.
intelligence?
Intelligence, resolve.
So many dice. 3 successes.
You
He's not bad.
willpowering?
No, I've used all of them but one.
Yeah, he gives her this command, and you see Candace just nod and turn, and instead stab at Denise. Dex melee for you. Luca, what do you want to do? He's just dominated Candace.
Can I use my arms to whip him in front so that she stabs him instead of Denise?
Yeah, give me another Wits Oblivion roll.
Okay.
Luckily, she sucks at stabbing. Anne-Marie, what are you doing out in the ice? She's melded into a shadow, turned into the Tenebrous avatar, and she's starting to envelop you.
Sorry, I say I leap and try to run. And so I try to dodge her, grabbing me with her oily shadow thing. And at the same time, I scream to Haji to run in the woods. Okay.
Don't have soaring.
No, but I have celerity.
Yeah, so she's... I'll say this will be your one chance. If you're quick enough, you can maybe break from the shadow area before she's fully latches on and begins to envelop you. So give me... This will essentially be a dodge then. Let's just do Dex Athletics.
Okay. And do I add...
Luca, with another 5, do you add...
Do I add my celerity or not?
No. Rapid reflex.
Okay. 3. But if I fail, it's beast.
Okay, so with 3, you turn, spinning on your heels, throwing yourselves, and quickly running out of this area. Your feet splashing like you're running through water in the shadow that's coming up with each footstep, but are able to break out of that area before it fully, the last of it sort of drips off of you. She wasn't quite able to latch on before you broke out of this area. But instead, you see it start to shift towards Hajit, who's also started just to turn and run away now as instructed, but it's catching up to him quickly. But you do see that she's almost wanting to make an example. She catches up, but instead of just enveloping him, she starts to actually form again, solid, on the other side of him. But as she forms, she just has her hand on his neck and is just lifting up, her shadowy form slowly solidifying and becoming Naomi. She's lifting him in the air. You have moved this guy with a quickness and precision with your mastery of your Arms of Ahriman into the very much projected and sloppy stab of Candace, luckily, which put him in the way instead, as she then slashes across his face. But she's still she's still mesmerized. She's still going to keep trying to do what she was tasked to do. But you can... No, you can't, because you're not older than him. So Luca, what do you want to do next? So you have essentially done this, knocked Denise out of the way, put this person in between Candace. Mm-hmm. Candace, give me another Dex melee. But he's not looking great. He's just been cut up a couple times now, but superficially.
When I'm using the Arms of Ahriman, are my hands free to do something?
They're free, but it takes all of your focus. You can't do anything else while controlling the arms.
Okay.
So you can stop controlling the arms and instead use something else if you want.
I'm gonna keep putting him into her harm's way.
Sure. You can see at this rate, it might be doable. It'll take a little bit. It might be quicker to just... Actually...
Could I apply pressure with the arms?
I mean, you could just straight harm him with the arms.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. So give me another roll then. against his.
I already started to cut
Oblivion
him
still?
in half. You can just like rip him the rest of the way. It's like perforated at this point, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
And Candace got a 0, so she's just just enough aware of what she's doing, where you see a little bit of blood starting to form in her eyes. But still, she's the part of her that's in control of herself isn't. So that part is still just slashing wildly. A 7, a clean crit. You move him in the way again, and she again cuts again. But it looks like she cut him in half, because she cuts as you put him in the way and are also pulling in opposite directions. So her little knife slices as the arms just pull as you yell out this compulsion, this ruthlessness still under control, and just completely eviscerate this individual, flinging him to the side as just 2 pile of brittle bones and ash by the time they hit just collide onto the ice.
I looked at Candace as she seems still.
Yeah, Candace now sort of shook out of this a little bit, I'll say. Anne-Marie, what are you doing?
When I see this, I'll just it's like my inner voice screaming help, because I'll take another shot at Naomi.
Okay, take another shot. Compose your firearms. It's slightly harder as she now has him.
Yeah, but she doesn't move, so... Does she has him, or her shadow?
She has him. Her actual arm has formed and she has him. You're almost reminiscent of just the other night when you had someone and shot and put their loved one in front of the bullet. But we'll see what happens here. If your aim is true or if it's worth the risk, that's up to you.
I'll okay. I rouse.
Okay, you don't get hungrier.
Nope.
She holds him, but she's looking at you, and she just, in a whisper, but a whisper that you can hear.
Give in. Surrender.
I take the shot.
Taking the shot. This will be at a +1. Beat her by 1. So, she's not the quickest. With the 3, since she's physically, you could tell she absolutely was hoping you would do this, and then tries to move him in the way. Does, but you're like moves him, and it just barely misses him and clips her in sort of the meat of the neck and shoulder, and she sort of stumbles back, dropping him. And with this, she is now just throwing herself at you. She seems quite annoyed as she, again, feet not moving, just gliding across, but leaving Hajid behind. As she closes the distance and is now upon you, her physically reaching out to you, not even using the shadows. So the shadows are like moving her rapidly across the ice. You two at the side have eliminated that one. The people seem fine for now. What do you two want to do?
Tell them to run.
Stay close, because there's an army of emotionless people heading this way. Do we think by like where I parked the truck, will they be able to get there before the people do?
Yeah.
Then I'll give the keys and I'll tell them like, get the fuck out of here, hide somewhere.
Don't stop for any of the people coming from the town.
Yeah, nobody.
Avoid them.
Yeah, they just nod.
Even if they look normal.
Eloise just grabs you and wraps you up real quick, Luca. Just a brisk but meaningful hug. Knowing not to linger or be too emotional, as she's seen you in this mode and she knows how serious things can be. And getting out. Denise helping some of the other ones. Her sort of caretaker mode kicks in as she makes sure that the others go as well. And then makes a run for Hajid to sort of help him regroup with the crowd, and they start heading towards the truck. By this point, Anne-Marie and Naomi are entangled. You could get another shot off at her as she approaches. You can try to go brawl mode now as she's closing the distance.
I'm definitely going brawl mode. And
okay.
I like in an instant, I drop my gun and will punch her.
Yeah,
As
you
strong as I
drop
can.
and then drop to a knee and just get ready for a fucking uppercut as she's flying at you. Are you rousing the blood? You are. You're at hunger 5.
So I frenzy.
Not yet. You have to be you have to go past hunger 5.
Oh,
or
really?
if you're exposed to any blood. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I play hunger 5 all the time. I love.
Okay. Well, I'll punch her. So, I don't have. Can I activate
Prowess?
prowess?
Yes. Another rouse check though.
Yeah, and even if Harjit is running away, right? Like the closest person
Mm-hmm.
is her.
Yeah.
So I'm saying even if I frenzy, I'll frenzy into her and just destroy her. Okay.
Yeah. So do another hunger roll if you. Oh, did you? You're fully frenzied, but you get this attack off. Add. No, this will just add to your damage, not to your roll.
So it's the time when I saw in the book that you could control your frenzy if you're
Ride
totally,
the wave. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so as she approaches quickly, Anne-Marie dropping to her knee and dropping her gun, just getting ready with an uppercut. As she comes in, sure enough, just reaching up, the beast fully taking over as a hunger frenzy actually takes effect. But you just crack her in the jaw. You just feel bones breaking underneath your fist, sending her in the air. And you can see almost where she was connected to the shadow at the bottom. You see that breaking as she just sort of flies up in a splash. Before she hits the ground, Luca trails it, takes a shot, and there's a splash of blood as it erupts from this bullet, which also just sends your beast just deeper into this hunger frenzy, demanding some sort of vitae. As it splatters, she hits, and you can see she's looking very, very bad. Candace, what are you doing?
I don't really have anything to do.
Maybe make sure people are safe to the car.
Can I just run over and dust away the circle, I guess? The charm circle?
Ruining, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
It's
you
a
start
rectangle.
disrupting this doorway that was written in chalk and about to be ritual blood added to it, as well as the shadow. Start disrupting that. She hits hard, a shot. Anne-Marie's lunging towards her, getting ready to feast.
Yep.
And then she just melts into a pool of shadow again. The scent of blood in the air but disappearing. A source of blood no longer there for you, Anne-Marie, meaning the closest source of blood is now Hajit. As she, I mean, existentially, she exists somewhere here, but you can't feed off of her. She's just a shadow right now. And right now, in your full hunger frenzy, all that matters to you is whatever's the closest source of actual vitae, which is Hajit. As you, Luca, then see Anne-Marie just turn and start scrambling on the ice towards Hajit, who is getting ready to reconvene with the rest of the group.
So, I can't remember. Do I still have that owl familiar?
Yeah.
Is he with me?
Yeah.
Could I send that to... I'm pretty much sending that owl to Anne-Marie, so she just like bites into that and quenches.
Yeah, that's
You know, I'm going to kill it, right?
Yeah.
Instead of then sacrificing your owl, as you give it the command and there's no choice but to obey, as it swoops in, intercepting Anne-Marie, who just grabs it out of the air, just rips it, and is just taking the blood from each half of it. This will delay her for just a moment, but it will delay her from throwing herself into the group of humans. As you can see now, the shadow moving back and forth along the ground towards where Candace is breaking the door. In this form, I mean, you know, you've dealt with Elder Lassambra. There's nothing you can really do to harm them besides like fire or something in this form. Unless there might be a way for you to use your shadows to almost grapple with her shadow, forcing her to being able to affect her still, if you want to attempt that.
I would like to attempt that.
But that will be taking your focus away from Anne-Marie, who's running towards your touchstones.
God damn it, guys. Now I'm going to use my arms to control.
Okay, Wits Oblivion.
No, I'm using my arms to control Anne-Marie.
Oh,
to hold her from...
Same thing, Wits Oblivion, Anne-Marie, okay. Resolve Composure.
I have a minus because my willpower is...
Actually, you would, but because you're in a frenzy and this arms affect you as a mental way, not a physical way, since it's Resolve Composure, you get a +3.
Oh,
so
fuck me.
It'll end up as just a +1 for you.
So would it's be Resolve Composure.
Resolve Composure +1.
I'm gonna use whatchamacallit, willpower reroll.
No, that's okay. That's okay. You don't have to.
Oh, yeah. I think I'm slow at this.
Anne-Marie, another beast. Luca, yeah. Consistent 5s with your arms or armor on. Right as she's finishing devouring your owl, the arms come up beneath her and just pull her up, or just almost like chains, ropes coming from the ground, holding her and then holding her in place. She started to struggle against them, fangs bared, blood down her side, as she's just thrashing.
Mm-hmm.
Emery, you can reduce your
hunger.
Actually, I don't think a single owl would be enough to reduce your hunger.
No, but can I rouse and use Feral Whispers? Area and just have her feed off those.
I missed. Using Feral Whispers to do what?
Use Feral Whispers to I can summon animals and convince them to obey me.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Can I get like a bunch of I don't know, squirrels, whatever critters are
something
out.
hardier,
large
but
animals,
raccoons, bears. I don't
deer.
Whatever I can't.
Deers,
Deer,
yeah.
moose,
elk.
We're in
Whatever the fuck is
Alaska.
up there.
Can we get some moose eye? That's plural, right?
Moose eye.
Moose
It's
eye.
like a fucking grizzly.
Charisma animalism for you.
Okay. I need a rouse too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh fuck.
About to your friends too.
Let's see. Rouse, where are you? Right there. Fuck me.
Oh.
Does that put you at 5?
It puts me at 5. Yeah. But let me make the roll before I gotta take that dot away. Okay. What charisma, what?
Animalism.
Animalism. Can I willpower?
Nope.
No, it's all hunger dice.
No.
So you try calling out to some deer, something that she would take some time to eat, but you don't get anything. Whatever corruption is in this place seems to have pulled the animal or pushed the animals far from it. Candace, as you've now broken this chalk outline of the door, the portal to bring in Shalim, Naomi appears before you, rising from the shadow again, but in her full physical form. You all came to this place to get away. I'm offering the ultimate escape for everyone. Even here at the edge of the world, we find suffering. And she looks over, and you can see both of them not in a good place. You can, with your empathetic powers, can sense the beast just boiling under the surface for these two. They are about to unshackle themselves. Don't you want to stop feeling hurt? I've lived a very long time. I've accomplished what should be my wildest dreams. I've ruled nations. At the end of the day, it doesn't mean anything. Trust me, whatever you're chasing here, you won't find it.
What am I chasing here? What do you think what do you think my desires are?
A purpose. You think you can relieve suffering for others. To exist is to hurt. Deep down, I think you know that.
And that's it. That's the only thing, is hurt?
That's all this world is. You know better than most. If you do not want to be freed, so be it, but at least let them. Look, they're aching for release. You look over and you see just the feral Anne-Marie thrashing against a Luca who's been through it and is barely holding on, but his shadow is still holding Anne-Marie in place for now until his own beast takes over.
Then be free yourself. Feed yourself to them. Allow them to have release. If you're done, if you want to be free, then why the fuck do you keep coming back?
I am not Shalim. If that's what you were
What the fuck are you?
I'm Naomi. Once a princess, now nothing, and I've never been happier.
Wait, were you a kindred the entire time?
Of course.
Oh shit. How did I miss that?
There's nothing
that's a
here
trip.
for you to read. By emptying myself, I've avoided any unnecessarily prying. Come. And she reaches out a hand to you, reaches towards your face. And you can see bits of black water dripping from her fingertips.
I don't like when my face is touched in this game.
What are you going to do?
I'm gonna jump back because I was probably down scribbling, so I'll jump back, stand up.
Dex Athletics.
Okay, cool. Very good at that.
Luca. Anne-Marie's in a
What?
frenzy. Luca, what are you doing? You can
I'm
hold
about
her,
to-
but eventually she's going to break. Or something's
Yeah.
going to happen. Looking over, you can see Naomi's back. Very damaged physical form, but she's here physically again, reaching out for Candace.
Right. How
Rouse the
far
blood.
away are the touchstones?
They're getting a safe distance now, and they're on the opposite side. It's like the touchstones, you and Anne-Marie,
Then
and then
I'm going to take my shot at Naomi then.
3.
Can you throw Anne-Marie at her?
Arjit managed
Ooh, could
to...
I? How far away is that?
I'll say yeah, because that's awesome.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's ice at least.
that's
so
a
even if she
Mandy
just
move.
boop, 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 boop.
Yeah.
Like curling. Just slide her towards.
Well, I was thinking about like shattering the ice to get like a body for her to just feed off of, but I don't know if like that was frozen or
It's
not.
I would assume it's very thick.
My shadows are very
Breathless.
strong.
Yeah, died for too long, I think.
Yeah.
Mandy, in the
okay.
chat, roll space 1d10, please. You went high. Perfect.
9.
Dude, 7s. I wanna-
7 for the arms of Ahriman. So she reaches out and you pretty quickly for you, start to scramble out of the way. But again, the shadow's like, without even taking a step, move her close, and she touches. She specifically puts her hand in your head and sticks her thumb into your third eye, and everything goes dark for you. And you also take.
The 9 was my damage when I've lost my arm, so the D10. I remember.
2 levels of aggravated damage. Her margin was a lot less than your margin was. You had the 9 plus.
Yep.
Yeah, as you go blind and take this aggravated damage, she specifically went for your third eye. This thing that's supposed to make you wise and see the truth. She's showing you the truth is darkness. But with 7 successes, give me a brawl strength, Anne-Marie. The shadows pulling Anne-Marie along the ice and then just flinging her to where the closest thing is now Naomi.
Do I have a minus? Because of my crippled state?
I will say no, because of the successes he gave you, and I'm going to say that's almost like an assistance. He's aided you, and you're sort of getting the jump on her. She also doesn't have a defense necessarily, since she used her attack on Candace. 3 successes. As you head her down to next to nothing. You fling at her, and she turns just in time for you to launch yourself at her, even with your one hand, catching her by the head, slamming it down into the ice, just cracking it, blood splattering on it, and you immediately just start biting into her, tearing into her, and draining Naomi. Candace, you can hear this carnage, but you can't see anything. Luca, what do you want to do?
Was I there to hear that she was a princess?
Yeah.
Did I hear that? Okay.
Sure.
Knowing that, and that she's old as fuck, and Anne-Marie's young as a kindred, I'm gonna watch over her. She feeds, but like pull her back before she goes.
Another Arms of Araman roll for you. Anne-Marie, we'll start with a will. Well, you don't have any willpower. Another strength brawl for you.
With my frenzy, will I diablerize her?
Yes, unless you're physically pulled off, which we'll see here in a moment. 4
Okay,
successes. So you do strength brawl. He's working against you, so you will have your -2. -1. 4 against 1. With that, he pulls you off and just holds you down long enough to where your hunger satiated just long enough for the frenzy to naturally sort of run its course. You don't have the willpower to force it out early, but eventually you sort of come to yourself after a long, agonizing moment of just physically being restrained as your beast screams against you. But with that, Candace can at least make sense of what you hear. All seems quiet. Anne-Marie becomes herself. Luca, you can finally breathe a breath of relief. Though, give me a frenzy check. Your hunger 5?
Yeah.
You just smelt blood.
I reduce my hunger to what?
To 1. So he pulled you off right before you did the final slurp.
No modifiers, huh?
Final slurp.
All right. What's the difficulty?
The soup, right?
But doesn't elder blood satiate a lot more than?
Yeah, you can only get past 1 if you kill them, though. So
yeah, but if like Luca comes and feeds to her, like she still has some blood left. She won't like.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here.
Okay.
Difficulty 1?
3.
3.
Oh wait, no, it's just a sight, so 2.
2. Okay.
You haven't tasted it.
Restrained.
Eat.
You keep yourself calm as you rip her off.
Eloise.
Keep yourself calm enough, even though that smell of this ancient blood is tantalizing to you. Keep yourself gathered, composed. Eventually, your beast subsides. Anne-Marie's beast subsides. Candace, you're fine. What do you guys want to do?
I'll immediately look for Hajit.
Yeah, you find them all. They've gathered at the truck.
Is Candace still blind?
Mhm.
I'll guide Candace then.
We need to kill her still, right?
Yep, she's not dead yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Anne-Marie can go check on everyone, but we need to take care of this.
All right.
How do you want to do it?
If I bite into her to feed, I have to like check to see if I don't Diablo Rise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't want to risk that. Can I just blow her head off?
Yeah, I mean, you still have the arms out. You can just
Pull
the head off of the body. With that last bit of tendon snapping, instant dust.
Damn. She old. All right. I'll tell Candace that's taken care of. She's dust, and I'll grab her arm and make her way to the truck. Or hell, I'll put her on my back. I'm gonna soaring leap. I don't want to take any chances of this shit.
Yeah, you toss her on. She holds on,
Yeah.
and you soaring leap the fuck out of here.
Twilight?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Twilight through the woods towards.
Oh, never mind. I turned the gun on myself, knowing that I just did it.
Anne-Marie's in the truck. She drives towards you. You stop it. And then you play a game of baseball.
Yeah.
That is the best thing.
It's the only good part.
What do you guys want to do? Yeah, you've
Except the
gathered.
ending.
Your touchstones are fine. We'll sort of stay here. What do we sort of want to happen as we shift to sort of the aftermath of this, the epilogue of this? What are your intentions? Your touchstones are safe. The town has been shook. The Masquerade deeply breached. There is apparently a pack of werewolves that has come to town that is now aware that there are vampires in the town. It's probably not a place for you to be anymore.
Yeah. For me personally, Eloise doesn't have family here. She was visiting for photography. So I'll reach out to her to help me relocate during the day. And then I'll help Ed during night and relocate somewhere else. The girls can come with us if they so choose to stay in numbers together, but with no connections still in town.
Yeah, but Hajit knows that we exist. And I don't know if the werewolves will come after them. I just can't leave him.
You can bring whoever you want. Eloise
Oh.
knows already that I'm a vampire. Kindred.
I'll like his mother will probably care, but not too much. Like
Isn't his mother a drunk that doesn't really know?
Yeah, but still, his mother.
So
Well,
you're
it
saying
depends.
that
What do you want to do here? So this, I mean, it's not safe, not only for you, but for the people around you, for you to stay in this town. Though they know what's happened. So is it a thing where you come to terms with that, discuss it with them, and then leave? Or is it just time to disappear in the night? It seems Luca has chosen to leave again.
Yeah, I feel
but
like
this time leaving a place better than he found it, instead of just leaving because things got too bad. I mean, things got bad here, but they would have been much, much worse without your intervention. That's probably the first time you've been involved in something and actually weren't the cause of it being bad, but were the cause of it better. And this time, when you run, it's not alone. It's not to hide by yourself somewhere. You found someone willing to go with you, willing to be part of that. Yeah, what about Anne Marie? Harjeet would be emboldened a bit. Harjeet has been through a lot.
Yes.
This, while obviously quite traumatic, is a different kind of challenge. It's something where there's something eye-opening about this. His world felt so small and so sad, and the people in it so terrible. In almost a weird way, knowing that like there is true existential evil out there doesn't make his hurt any less, but changes his perspective, changes his world. It's like when a person first discovers, when you think about just the vastness of space and your place in it, can seem depressing to some people to make you feel insignificant, but it's almost comforting to him in the sense that there's so much more out there. He always dreamed about going to a better town, but now there's just whole different societies and a supernatural element he didn't think of that it's both terrifying and fascinating.
Yes,
It's still a very curious child.
I think he would do anything anyway to run from his mother. Like she abused him, not sexually, but physically.
Yeah, she's battling her own demons and takes it out on him. So are you leaving? Are you proposing to take him with you?
Yes, and what I want to do is like over the time, I want to make us have a code, like for this to never happen again. Me enter a frenzy and everything. So and going after him. So like I want us to have some sort of code when every time he feels like I could snap or something, he would just run away instantly in the safest place nearby. I think I would teach him very young how to drive in, urgent situations.
Yeah. So you sort of give him a survival, how to live with a vampire crash course.
Yes.
Which also, it kind of gives him this really great purpose of you are this powerful creature that you are trusting him to navigate and be around. Not only that, not only does he know when to run, but you start to really understand his importance as something that anchors you to humanity. I mean, it was explicitly explained to you this way. And there's a pride he takes, and he's something that makes you better. He maybe not having to run every time something bad happens with you. He gets good at actually able to calm you down, sort of shake you out of certain things that your blood drives you to do. And there's a balance of strength there, and a strength he's able to draw from within himself, a purpose. That purpose is helping this badass vampire person, which is scary but quite cool.
Yeah, and Luca proposed that we could stick with him, so I don't see any reason why we wouldn't. After everything he
Take
saved
it back.
me.
I'm gonna be with Eloise. Thanks. Bye.
Okay.
Kitty.
Yeah, you saved us. Like I owe you everything. So whatever you need.
I need you to grow that arm back before you hang out with me.
Okay.
Candace.
I know that Denise won't leave. She has a greater purpose in life, and the town will need her more than ever. And so I know this will be where I'll have to leave her, and I'll have to leave the town. But I will have her ask her to try to make contact with the werewolves, to have them protect the town from any more kindred. Just make it a kindred free zone, even if that means I can never go back there to visit. So I will want the situation explained to the town. They're obviously they're a target because they're so isolated, like, and not just like physically, but they're isolated from knowing a bigger picture. And so I think they're safer knowing things. And so that's what I'll request, and I think I'll join the group, head out with them, and continue to try to do the work that I had started in this town. There's a need for empathy and someone that sees things everywhere. So I know that no matter where Candace goes, she has a greater purpose everywhere. So
absolutely, finally finding an internal drive as well as the need to help people, securing other guardians for this place that you're not ready to abandon, that you feel confident in your leave. Not quite having that anchor, that touchstone anymore, though I'm sure you'll find another. But for a while, you are enough. Like you internally actually find your own strength, your own foundation, which is very empowering as well. Because obviously needing to help people is not a bad thing, but it can burn someone out themselves, and you're able to actually find strength within yourself to have that purpose to keep you along. And then obviously these people need you too. They got their own issues. But yeah, the three kindred who wound up in this faraway place to hide from their problems decide to leave together. If you
can I, with what's your touchstone, Candace? Who is it? Denise. With her staying in town, because Luca's mindset was all of us would go, that leaves room for one more. Could I offer that spot to CJ?
You can offer to however many people you want.
Yeah, I mean, CJ, you had that sudden connection with him that was unexpected. CJ, after finding out what happened with his father and everything, he has nothing.
Yeah, it feels super shitty that I stopped him from running, and then I'm about to run, and I want to at least give him the option.
Yeah.
I think CJ would actually choose to stay, though. He now feels a connection to the town, and he played a big part. He went out on his own. He was the person that you saw in the woods that you kept going. He followed people when he saw people leaving and dealt with some stuff, and he is very much grateful, considers himself in debt to you. But his family's been the most important family in this town for a while, almost important financially, and he feels like he owes the town a lot. He can still use that for actual good, and he does so.
Hell yeah!
But a change he would not have made without the talks he had with you.
As like a last thing, and then I'll stop talking. I know we're not going to play more, but just like for the story's purpose, can I continue to do research on the oil company, and or even also like connected to the weird like sex ring that apparently is
I have so many questions.
Did it have anything to do with it?
It had nothing to do with this cultish Shalim at all.
Yeah.
The Joanna had been recruited by them. That's why she had the outlook she had. Though she already kind of had it too. But no, that's actually a big part of. You get updates from Denise of why the werewolves stay. What they consider the worm, this corrupting force against the Mother Earth. Endron is a big name in the werewolf world. That is a shell company through that the worm operates from. So they did not realize, again, they were from quite a ways inland. They were drawn here by this massive corrupt energy. And their focus, now that you've taken care of the vampire side of things, is this oil rig. Specifically because some of the things with the corruption of the people, that's what they do. They corrupt financially. They really, that's CJ's father and people like that was actually connected to this Endron presence. And they especially stay because the Wedgwood family is also a family of werewolves. Specifically, their daughter is now a black spiral dancer. She was a corrupt, evil werewolf that now works for Endron. That you guys almost fought on the boat, so that was good that you didn't.
Yeah, it's like she's scary. Whatever she is, she's scary.
She was a werewolf too, but she was a baddie. So the werewolves absolutely stay and not only dismantle. I mean, not necessarily Endron, but they get him out of the area eventually.
Okay, so explain the weird darknet shit with the people in the room. And
I mean, that's just humans being terrible people.
God.
Yeah.
And they were given a lot of money to meet with others. Kind of slightly connected to Endron in the sense that certain people in this town were connected to other terrible humans with too much money and terrible desires. So they sort of were setting up something like that, but wasn't a direct connection. But yeah, so we learn about that. You also learn checking in with an old La Sombra contact about an update, because again, this was what you knew about the cult. This was kind of not their MO, something this big, grandiose, organized is very odd. And that's because they were under new leadership. This Naomi, there is connection. She was had her own nation, had islands in the Mediterranean which she ruled. She was very successful for a very long time until an earthquake sent her island into the ocean itself. That was the last they heard of her. But she was a known kindred ruler for a while, and essentially, like she told Candace, had it all. Ruled with an iron fist, had everything you can want as the most powerful vampire in the Mediterranean princess, and eventually became jaded with it. It was called to something else in the ocean.
So the shadows we saw when we were on the boat, she was making them?
That was Apollyon. So the Traveler. There is one entity that's just shadow that crawls along the bottom of the ocean and whispers the things, recruits people. Naomi had trapped it. That's why the MO was different. The actual, what would be the highest ranking member of Shalim in this realm is Apollyon, was trapped in that box. Because Naomi decided it's not enough to keep, because again, their nihilistic nature was also holding them back. Naomi had grander plans, and it didn't work with the former leader of the cult. Had you released him, he would have helped defeat Naomi, but would have been trading one problem for another.
Yeah.
Damn.
But you ended up actually destroying two would-be heads of the cult of Shalim, leaving whatever very fractured organization there is barely manageable at all now.
I don't usually feel this good after a Chronicles.
I know,
so
this was potentially a very depressing ending depending on how the thing went.
Yeah.
You guys all did very good. And I think with those last notes, that's where we'll end Empty Threat. Which is very cleverly named now. Yeah, thanks for playing. This was fun.
That was
just
awesome.
Pat yourself on the back for that name.
Yeah.
I'm always patting myself. Big pats. This was great.
Fun.
This was obviously my little foray into the cult of Shalim, which is, I think, a very interesting cult and Cults of the Blood Gods. Didn't get to use their powers as much. They had a thing, the blinking thing, is they can do a thing where they can send images they see to other people. So that's when Naomi saw what was happening. She was sending those to her, so that's why she dipped. That's why she could navigate the waters and stuff so well, because she is this watery La Sombra entity.
Siren.
Yeah, it's making me think of Cthulhu and
A little bit. And
yeah.
they have the thing where they put the chalk on their eyes and they can hypnotize someone. They'll beat their asses before they get to do that.
Well,
And Pit of
that's what I was worried about.
Contemplation is where they can draw a door and it literally leads into the abyss. And you go in and there's nothing you can do. Once you're in, your character's just dead.
That's fucking nuts.
You almost fell into the... Yeah.
Oh my god.
Good times. Very interesting cult. Look them up. We're going to get into more cults. But otherwise, that's been me. We'll go around to tell the people who you are again. Then we'll say our final farewells. Same order. Sarah.
Yep. It was a pleasure. I don't know that those are the good words, but I loved playing this cult thing, and I look forward to play again with you guys. It was amazing. Leave a like to the video if you enjoyed as much as us the series, and I'll see you next time.
Yes, thank you so much for playing with us. Rob Burglar.
I forgot about that. I'm Metal Chocobos. It was crazy. I made a very sad character thinking I was going to be it was a very sad nihilistic approach, but I feel really good at the end of it. So this was a good fun coterie, and I'm just saying that like we did set it up that we're all together. So like maybe down the road it could maybe we'll go to Canada together. I don't know. But check out our other videos with Taste of Youth for teen vampire drama, Fall of London for really, really good British accents and corgis. And I just want to say thank you for Sarah for being our guest and getting this. I feel like you kind of put this together for us. So it's been a pleasure. Hope to keep this going sometime.
Everything we do for Sarah. Mandy.
Yeah, Mandy Morose here. I had a great time. Anything I say just sounds dumb. No, I had a excellent time. I really enjoyed playing like a very compact story. I think that's a really neat way to tell a story. It keeps things at a good pace, and I think it's neat the way you learn like the abilities, and you have the opportunity to have a character that you don't have to be stuck with if it doesn't work out. But I had never played a Salubri before, so that was really, really enjoyable. There's lots of neat things there, and so I think especially in the world of vampire, if you're looking for a character that kind of breaks that monster mold, I think give that one a look. But yeah, you can find me at Table Goth stuff. We do some tutorials. We have some stuff planned coming up soon that I think will be really interesting, and I can't wait to play in another cult game. That's me.
Amazing. That's my dog. I'm Bully. I run Table Goth stuff. Find us on YouTube and stuff like that, and keep an eye out in this space for more cult chronicles. I want to dive into more stories with more cults. Them as enemy, some of them us playing as cult members. Should be exciting. But yeah, thank you all for playing this. This was very fun, very moody. What I wanted to go for, and you all nailed it. Amazing, interesting characters and really cool choices that even though I didn't as a short chronicle, you still managed to do things I didn't think you'd do, which is always fun. But anyway, that's us. This is our game. Catch us next time. Bye.
Bye.